God, it was in the pocket of my coat.
Very, very good. I think we're just missing Valfine. I haven't heard Kyle yet.
Yeah, I just messaged him.
Said hi.
Oh, hey, buddy. There you are.
Oh, you're here.
Yeah.
He always forgets.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
He's getting
Who,
ready.
me?
It's a 7:30 start.
Nah, I'm working, dude.
He's
I
working,
was
brother.
working up until it's time to start.
He's always here. Right on time, actually.
No, forget from this.
Nerds.
Oh, man. You're right. I think I need some more.
Objection there going on, Brolin.
Brolin's
Surely there is
stealing
an
some
essential
stuff.
oil for memory.
For
Perhaps it's
memory.
lemon.
Perhaps it's lemon. Evil. Evil.
I'll be right back. I just need a drink of water.
Okay. This will go away. What is... Okay. There are, like... I gotta refresh clocks here. So I have no clocks. There are no clocks, guys. It's a problem.
No clocks here.
A lot of my clocks have been expired or changed, or...
You don't need the clock.
I do need clocks sometimes. I'll have to refresh them.
I'll clock you.
Don't clock me.
Get clocked.
I got clocked. It hurt. Why me? So we're just waiting on Berlin with the water. With the Wawa. Oh. What do I have music for the can't tell if I have music for the end, don't I? Yeah, Tavern Crowd right there. Very cool. Good. Oh, excuse me. Jeez Louise.
Okay, I can remove flying snakes from my inventory.
I think he has returned. The prodigal son. Yes, you can remove that. You got your gold, right?
I think so, because that's all in,
Yeah, should have handed you guys some gold pieces for those bad boys. Is Brolin with us?
He is.
Beautiful. All right, if we are all here and ready to go, guys, if everybody is REDY, because that's how you spell ready, we can jump right into it. Let's get back. It's been a while. December 17th was our last game, so it has been almost a month since we last stepped into this world. So we'll take a little time to get back into the skin of our characters, and I think a tavern is definitely a good place to have that happen. It's actually working out quite well that's where we left off. But yeah, let's start up this intro here. So our old TV screen blinks on and begins to buzz into view. As the picture clears, we see the tome with the screaming maw embossed upon the front, laying flat upon the dungeon floor. The dust around it kicks up and fills the air as the cover flips open and its many pages begin to spin by us. They pause at last on day 51. The ink begins to bleed from the center of the page, filling our tome once again with beautiful illustrations that illuminate the events of our past episode. As we dive in, we see the party reconvene at the bathhouse funeral for Brolin's brother Musharib. Both Alexandria and Valfine paying their respects in their own way to the applause of onlookers. We see Jabal's thugs enter the building, both investigating and interrogating in search of details to Jabal's recent going-ons. Brolin has been requested by the Inquisitors to visit Jabal's villa once the sun rises on the next day, so that they may conclude his business with the prince. The ink bleeds out, darkening the scene, and then forming quickly the next. We see the party outside the Thundering Lizard after doing business in the Red Bazaar. The eerily empty streets tip our heroes off to the Yuan Ti assassins that then surrounded them. We watch the battle unfurl, and with the aid of a wandering bard, Frisha, the party manages to overcome the force and live another day. With the snake men's blood filling the street, they ducked swiftly into the rowdy Thundering Lizard Tavern nearby. It would seem that Rasin C has somehow taken notice to the party's presence, and will not sit idly by while they plot against him. In a tense moment after entering the inn, the city guard investigating the explosive fight and the Yuan Ti bodies that now litter the Red Bazaar began to question patrons within the tavern about what they heard or saw. With both Frisha's cunning words and the party's knack for just barely fitting in, they managed to sweep the guards off their trail. We now see them, all of you, finding shelter in the packed tavern, seemingly safe from danger as you are surrounded by honeymead merriment. The page then spills to black once again and reveals but a small peak at its center of our final scene. We see the dark streets of the merchant ward. Asteria's back is to us, and before her stands Wakonga's merchant villa. A single light pierces the darkness at its gate. The cold after-image of Crowley's hand places its icy palm upon her shoulder. Our story turns to its next page. And so, we open back up our tale in the Thundering Lizard. The honeymead flows freely as the working class of the port take part in food, drink, and debauchery. What would you all like to do? That's what I'm going to... I want to hit everybody with what you're doing in the bar, but I have a little bit of extra theming for this place that I didn't really get to detail last time. Gotten to dig in a little bit more and learn a little bit more about what other people have done with this place, and I think this is fantastic. So, when you step into this place, and now that you've had a chance to absorb it, because you were just avoiding the guards, you just stepped in, it's been kind of a heated situation. Looking around, this place is quite unique. The objects on the wall are all paraphernalia relating to dinosaur races. You see horns mounted in certain places with names of past victors. You see some sort of tabards or flags of all kinds supporting different racers. And you can tell just by the sounds going on that there is all kind of conversation happening about the dinosaur races. There are fans, there are fellow jockeys, there are people making bets and like people taking bets in there. There are bookkeepers there. Everybody having to deal with the races is kind of surrounding you, and the bar seems to be very themed to, I mean, it's called the Thundering Lizard. It's very themed to the dinosaur races, and a lot of people who are there are they're involved in some way. And that seems to be all the talk of anything. There's like a roster behind the bar with these like wooden clips where they're like, oh, this is what the best racer is kind of thing. And you're in like a fan bar, basically, kind of situation. The top tier is similar in that it's all the same stuff, but for the arena. So it's got all kinds of arena paraphernalia all over the walls and stuff, and they have that same roster on there. You might even see Brolin's name up there somewhere, though it might be lower on the bottom now since he hasn't been in town for a while. So this is like a super, like the two sports in Port Nyanzaru. This is like a super sports bar basically, and yeah, the honeymead's flowing and people are just, there's conversation that is just going on and filling the room at all times. But yeah, what are you guys doing? Speak up, whoever immediately knows what they think they're doing in this situation.
Last we left off, I think Bor was starting to head up to Adric.
Yes, Adric, Uncle Adric. So yeah, you can see him on the second tier in the arena section. And you can see him, you can even probably hear him, because, I mean, he's not a Fireforge, but, you know, he knows Brolin. He's a dwarf. He's loud. He can easily be heard, and he's boasting about Brolin. Up there, he's up there boasting in the arena section about how his just remember his voice. It was something more like this. Yes, a little bit older. My godchild, Brolin, was one of the best arena fighters of all time. His name may not be at the top, but he's back in town, and I'm sure it will be soon enough. I'd bet all my money on him. And he's got a flask, and he's just boasting the hell out of you, Brolin, up there, and like asking people for, like, oh, who knows a good story about my godson, Brolin? Tell me of his tales in the arena. I want to know. And that's a lot of the conversation happening around the bar is people, because there's no like way to watch a fight or anything, like, or watch a race. So people are just retelling the tales. You could tell this place is probably very good for bards, and Frisha, you would know this as well. Anybody who can retell a race compellingly or retell an arena match, you get paid very well here to literally take a corner. So there are like multiple bards in the inn who are probably standing above the crowd on a table or on a box or whatever, telling, oh, the race won and then they're just explaining. People are watching, like, oh, I didn't see this one last week, kind of situation. They get paid very well. So yeah, War's heading upstairs.
Yep. So heading up to Adric, as they had some.
Yeah. There's this big
conversation. Yeah.
Like almost dominating the back of the bar is a huge set of stairs, wide enough that like 4 rows of people could easily go up and down it. But they are constantly filled with people going back and forth, trading in between, betting for like, you could see people with money, like getting ready to bet for tomorrow's races. And they're like on the arena and they're jumping back down, and you can see they have like coin bags in their hands, like ready to bet on a racer for tomorrow. For the dinosaur races, and they're rushing back and forth. So I think the most traffic finds itself on that stairway, and you can hear it creak as you step up to it, especially under how large you are. And I imagine as you're sort of breaking through that area, people are kind of like getting out of your way, so it could be easily seen, this turtle making his way up through all these Chultans.
You'd probably be saying excuse me in Chult every once in a while.
Yeah, they're kind of like moving out of the way. You take up at least 2 rows of people. Going through the massive set of stairs is a single like bar to like separate like left and right, but people ignore it. They just go through it. So people even slide down it to go pretty fast, but it's jam packed. So we know where Brolin's going. Anybody else?
Well, we know where War is going.
War. Sorry, I said where War is going. So we know where War is heading. Anybody else?
Well, I guess.
Or where you are, or you want to describe.
Frisha is going to tag along with one of the people. I haven't decided who yet, but subtly.
We left a lot of people
subtle.
at the main bar, which I think is in front of that set of stairs. It's the barkeep's back would be to the massive set of stairs in the back of the room, and the bar is kind of like right in front of that. Most people, I think War's the only one who's left the bar to go somewhere. So Frisha will be tagging along with somebody. Is anybody else moving from the bar area? Are you getting any meat? Are you buying anything? What are you guys doing?
I am going to the bathroom.
Oh yeah. Heading out to the outhouses.
Yes, I'm covered in Wanti blood, and I don't want to be covered in Wanti blood anymore.
You probably get a couple drunkards as you pass and just go, "Someone's been through the Red Bazaar, you spill a whole shop on you, jeez." And then we get some drunkards who harass you a little bit. "Oh, ain't you pretty? Red hair, red blood." And it's just you get a couple of weirdos you gotta pass by.
Yeah, I used to be blonde.
Oh, that's a good one. You probably get a couple of chuckles from that. You can cut your way through in the direction. I think you were going to like head to the bathroom before, and now like that seems more prevalent. Like, oh yeah, no, I probably should go, not just to hide. Yeah, you can head out the back to where there is a line of outhouses in a back alley, which is guarded on either side by paid guards, probably from the proprietor, who I have his name here. Osamar.
Outdoor bathroom. Charming.
Osumar. Yeah, it's outdoor. They are outhouses in an alley that is got I believe, like, let me move Let me move where exactly Thundering Lizard is, because I think
the Ren Fair porta potties.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of people have been in and out of.
Oh,
True.
joy.
Yeah, it's back.
It smells like the raptor races.
It does, yeah. The back alley, it's like when you step out, you're looking right at the wall to the arena. Like right at the wall of the arena. Like it's really close. It's pretty close to the arena, so it makes sense why this is sports bar. Yeah, that alleyway is protected on either side by probably some paid bouncers from Orsumar who greeted you at the door. And yeah, it definitely smells, and you can see definitely a lot of drunk people out here. Some of them not quite making it to a one of the outhouses and just sort of peeing on the wall, just sort of like hanging up against it and peeing on the wall, which seems to be accepted for the most part. There's probably like a drain down there of some sort. Yeah, what do you do? You're just going into one of the outhouses?
No, I think what I'll do is take advantage of the fact that there's a lot of people here and do my business. Just prestidigitize my clothing and then get back inside where it doesn't smell. Well, it smells just as bad, just a different kind of
Smells
smell.
like more like humans packed together smell. Yeah, this alleyway's definitely a little bit gross. Okay, so yeah, we know where Asteria is at the moment. We know where War is heading. Frisha, Brolin, Balfing.
I think the first thing Brolin wants to do is check, do a quick roll and see if he can roll against his alcoholism.
Okay, yeah. Do that for sure. What was his uncle's name again? You were Adric. Yeah, because I was writing Adir, and that's not. Yeah, I was like, I got this wrong. Okay, Uncle.
So
Adir.
I'm gonna say I have to beat an 18.
Okay, yeah.
It's a pretty tough roll.
Go for it.
I'm gonna roll a wisdom. That's a wisdom.
Yeah.
Wisdom save.
Right, I forgot. Didn't we have the?
Oh no!
Let me just see here. I just want to see how much let's see. So 17, you just missed it. So you indulge here. Roll a d10 and multiply it by 2.
What? Roll 1d10. That's not fair. Unrecognized command.
Go to where you see the dice right under on your little menu thing, and you should be able to just pick a die and roll it pretty easily. I believe you can also hover over it and get.
Yeah, you can hover over it, and it'll give you dice choices.
Yep.
Oh, here we go.
All right, 6. Nice. I would like from you, 2 silver pieces and 4 copper. You buy about 6 drinks for just yourself. Like
That's standard for a dwarf.
Standard for a dwarf. 6 like full, like as big as the cup goes kind of situation. So, slam down some cash for me, friend. I know you got gold there. You might have to split that up a little bit. What do you got? I'll peek in here. Oh yeah, you got some 10s. You want to toss a 10 down for me?
Yeah.
Toss a 10 down for me. It's one of your cards.
Ah, okay. So let me do.
Ooh.
Can I grab it?
Yep, you can grab it and just slap it, and you should be able to grab it and slap it out on. And I'll give you. Ooh, those are on the wrong layer. Those are mine. 2, 3. Yeah, it should be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Wait,
9.
gold.
I know he has 10 gold. I'm gonna.
I don't.
Yep, I see your 10 gold.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
gonna take it. Go ahead and take 9 gold. And then I have to give you some silver. We gotta cut your money up, brother. You're working with some stiff cash. So those gold pieces are yours to grab, Dustin. And as far as silver, 1. We gotta break up your money. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's pretty much the equivalent of like,
7,
hey, I got $1,000 bill.
8.
Can you
All of
break
these,
it for me?
all these are yours. They're kind of hard to see. Grab those, and then I owe you. Actually, don't grab that last one. No, throw one down, and I have to give you some copper.
So how drunk is Brolin?
You're intoxicated. You're definitely intoxicated. Let me give you your 6 copper. I need to make 5s, man. It'll make my life the easiest. If I so that's 4, 5, 6. Finally, you got some change. There you go, buddy. So yeah, you break it up, and yeah, you spend quite a bit. You are poisoned. You have the poisoned condition, absolutely. Actually, you should roll one more time. From that 17, or no, make a Constitution save. You have to actually make the con save. This was a Wisdom save not to drink. So go ahead and throw me the con save with advantage to see if you're poisoned. Let's see.
Getting out.
No. Since it's 6 drinks, it's 11 plus 6, so 17's your number on this. So you are poisoned. You are loaded. For sure. Osamir definitely would have to cut you off, though he's at the door. He has a different bartender who would probably be cutting you off. So Brolin is drinking fanatically. Valfine, what are you doing? Because I know Frisch is following somebody. We'll figure that out after we know what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, well, it's me, Brolin, and Frisha at the bar, right?
Right now, unless Frisha chooses after everybody decides what they're doing to follow someone, War or Alexandria.
Scanning the crowd, do I see anything? Any guards left?
You don't see any guards left, but you immediately notice 2 individuals who seem to be looking around and catch your eyes, and you recognize them as Alexandria's companions, Tifa and Losu. And they look pissed off. They look like super not happy, and they're just trying to make their way through the crowd, and they're having a lot of difficulty because of how close it is. And they are looking. They see you. Give you
I
kind
don't
of.
see Valfine. Valfine doesn't look like Valfine.
Oh, Valfine doesn't look like Valfine. You're right. You can just see
gonna
them.
ask, how long has it been since we got here? Because I have this guy's cell phone.
Yeah, they don't recognize you, but they are looking around. They've seen War, who is obvious, and they are like trying to get to him.
Well, so I remember last time, didn't I like make eye contact with them, knock on the shell, and then went up?
Yeah.
And then, like,
And then you went up, and they're like trying to get to you.
I gave them some shade.
Yeah, you did. You gave them some shade. They're trying to get to you since you're the only recognizable person they can see within the crowd. I don't think they can spot anybody else. Just War's easiest spot. So you see them. Make a perception check. I want to see if you identify anybody else in this bar. Okay. All right, 13.
That's with the +8.
So the +8. 13. It takes you a while, but you scanning the room a good couple minutes. You spot a recognizable face. You see Salhalla. You see the captain of the Order of the Gauntlet, and you see some Order of the Gauntlet individuals as well. They're out of their armor, but you recognize her pretty quickly. She looks cleaned up for sure, but she's with some Order of the Gauntlet members at a table facing on the side of the wall. You also recognize a very pompous-looking individual who you assume could only be Volo Famkadar. And he is at a table with a bunch of other fancy noble class-looking individuals and merchants. And you can also see he's got a stack of his books on the table, and he's just talking to them, and he's having a conversation in one corner. And you can see he's got like probably a little sign over to the side. That's probably not easy to spot because so many people, and it doesn't go much higher than the waist. But those are individuals that you would notice in the bar that you would somewhat recognize.
Did I see which direction Alexandria went?
Alexandria went towards the back, and you just don't see her. She's gone.
trying to think of. I heard someone's stomach. That's nice. Someone needs to eat.
That might have been me. I just ate.
You sound hungry.
No, I just ate. I'm full, so it's probably just tummy full.
I broke my train of thought there. So, looking, I guess, recognizing Sahala and stuff, Valfine's gonna tap Brolin on the shoulder, not quite noticing that he's completely plastered yet, and try to get his attention.
What? Who's there? What do you want? Oh, who are you?
Let me get
It's me. It's Valfine.
Valfine?
Yes.
Oh, you're sneaky. Oh.
I see that you've already partaken.
I tried to stop. I really did, but they kept giving me free drinks. What do you...
How many drinks you got up there, Brolin?
I think 7.
7. Nice. I'm gonna go the other way.
I buy imaginary feet.
I'm definitely sticking with Brolin here, and I might be encouraging him.
Yeah, are you like pushing another drink over? Just like, hey,
And
one more.
may possibly be trying to get him to tell me stories.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Frisha is getting what she can out of Brolin.
Yeah, seeing this go down, I think Valfine's gonna total 180 and see if she can find Alexandria in the other direction.
Yeah, you turn to go find Alexandria. War, you're making your way up, and immediately you are spotted by Uncle Adric. He just goes, "Ah, you! I know you! You're friend War! Yes, no, you're friends with my boy Brolin! Where is he?
He's downstairs.
Bring him up here, will you? I have to boast about my godson."
I kind of look down the stairs.
He
and
looks
just
easily-
pushed his way.
He's like looking. He's like, oh! He sees that you're like I'm stuck between so many people, and he like looks down and he spots Brolin on the tavern. He points down, he yells as loud as he can over the bar, "Brolin Fireforge!
That's me. I'm Brolin.
You should be drinking with your godfather."
Adrian, you're here. Okay. I'm gonna try to get up.
As you get up, you feel a hand on your shoulder, Brolin, and it puts you back in your seat. You turn around to see a face that is all too familiar to you. Somebody that you, Dustin, don't know anything about, but this is someone from Brolin's past. Let me grab a quick note really quick. Perfect. You hear a very it's almost like a sing-songy voice a little bit behind you, but it comes off extremely smooth. And the hand on your shoulder is that of a feline's. And you turn and look and see someone you haven't faced in the arena in quite some time, but you remember his name. His name is Vlad Krishif. He used to be one of the most prominent gladiators in the Grand Colosseum until you defeated him.
Oh no.
And he looks and he says, "Brolin Fireforge. I thought that was you I heard. Seems you are back in town. Very interesting." And we're going to cut over here to Alexandria. Alexandria, what are you doing? You're coming back inside.
Someone help my dwarf.
So Frisha's right there, you're good.
Can't help you, you're drunk.
I'll put more description in him. I want to know what Alexandria is up to.
Well, I'm cleaned up. Just got attacked by assassins, so I'm not gonna stray too far from anybody.
No, you head right back inside, as you said before, and you immediately spot Tisha and Lofu before they spot you. What do? They're looking around. They're searching, and you know it's got to be for you.
Oh, wonderful, my bodyguards. This is a relief. Yeah, she will go say hi.
Yeah, as you approach, you start to cut your way through the crowd. They immediately notice you and start to cut close to you. And the minute you meet, you have a very angry, and upset Tishu in your. It's wait. Let me make sure I got these names right. Is it Tisha?
Tifa.
Tifa. Yeah, you have a very. Where are my names? Yeah, there they are. You have a very angry Tifa in your face. She's got her claws. They're not. She's obviously in human form, but she's got her two hands on your shoulders, and she shakes you, and she says, "Where have you been? I do not know where you have gone. You didn't say where you were going." And she's freaking out, and she's getting like really angry and upset at you. And Losu puts a hand on her shoulder, and tries to calm her down. It's just like. Not here, Tifa. Somewhere else. It's just this. You are so irresponsible. We do not know where you were for so long. You could have been killed. And she's like freaking out, and and Losu like shakes her again on the shoulder, just like not here. We need to leave. And Tifa takes your arm and says, "We are going outside right now." What do you do?
You know, I'm pretty sure I left a note that I was attending the funeral. My friend.
We were there, and you were not.
Well, it turns out dwarves are unbearable, so you know, I did the thing.
Says we have to talk seriously.
And I think we definitely should do that, but we probably shouldn't leave right now.
She says, we cannot obviously speak in a place like this. I will not be heard, and what we have to speak about is not for others' ears.
Which is totally understandable, but right now, it's not a good idea to leave. Remember that whole I could have been killed thing? Well, there were assassins.
Her eyes widen, and she was like, "Where, Tigus?"
Not his, no. He's not that bold.
We left her for just a few hours, and this is what happens. And she just says, "We have to leave the port now. We can no longer be here. We are risking far too much having you be here in the first place." And Losu keeps just saying, "We have to find a place to talk. We cannot be here. We must discuss." And she's just ranting on. She's like, "We came here for what we needed. We need to get back to the Pride now." And Losu is like, it's like a three-way argument. Losu is just like, "Tifa, calm down. We need to talk about this." And it's just like trying to be a little bit on your side, and she's like freaking out. Yeah, they are like, what are you trying to persuade them to stay?
More like just to not leave immediately, so that the heat dies down a little bit.
Yeah, make a persuasion check.
Okay. All right, I got it. Oh, that's Alexandria's hawk. Oh, it's been a while. Okay. Persuasion. All right, I got this.
All right.
Seven is a lucky number.
Yeah, let me get her.
Perfect 7 out of 20.
I have a feeling that they're per passive.
I only ever hire bodyguards who are easily persuaded because they have low wisdom.
No, it's pretty good.
Just called them stupid to their faces.
It's 11. It's not bad. So Tifa isn't having any of it. She will say to you, she'll say, "We cannot stay in this bar. If you are afraid of what is out there, then we will leave through the side streets. We will go to another place, more secluded." And she kind of takes out a piece of paper and looks down at it. "There is a more quiet place. I believe it's called Kaya's House of Repose. We will go there." And she seems adamant to take you out of here. Like, she's not leaving without you. She doesn't want to stay here. Losu's looking at you like, we just have to talk, and this isn't the place to talk. You're unable to break through them. They're, like, on you, man.
Well, I mean, we could just rent a room.
Make another persuasion check.
It's probably going to be cheaper than that repost place.
Make it with disadvantage because they super don't like this place. But make one more. 11.
Okay.
11's the number with disadvantage.
Oh, whoops. Okay.
All right.
I'll just roll it again.
Ooh, let's see. Oh, he got it. All right. She looks frustrated. Doesn't really want to be in the area. So it's just too many people, and she can't see who it is. And you can see that she's nervous. With every face that passes, could be another were-tiger in disguise. And she will say, "It's fine. Let's just go now. We need to get to a quieter place." And yeah, you want to grab a room?
Yeah.
They will grab it on their dime. You don't have to worry about it. And they immediately start trying to cut their way up, one flanking you on either side, trying to like keep people away from you kind of thing and get you upstairs like completely protected. To the upper rooms. Yeah, you can grab a key. There's actually a lot of keys hanging on the wall, and they're kind of over to the side on a much smaller plaque than that of the race plaque. You imagine not a lot of people sleep here. Not a lot of people come here to sleep. So the rooms are all open. Frisia does. Somehow sleeps through all the noise. So yeah, you start heading up there. Back to war real quick, since I've paused you at these stairs and haven't let you get to where you're going. You want to get to Adric's table, right?
Yeah.
You sit down at his table, and he immediately scoots over. There's a ton of like drinks already on the table that are full. They kind of just they grabbed a huge bulk. He's with a couple other albino dwarves, other members of Brolin's family, probably more distant, that just know him, and he pushes 2 over to you. He says, "Drink, it is free."
And he'll introduce himself to the other 2 dwarves that are there.
Oh yes, and he introduces them. They just, I'm not going to give them names right now. Yeah, just standard people.
He's just being polite.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's pretty much going to sit down. And over the time, he's going to try to get as much info about like their dealings with his people before.
Yeah.
Because he mentioned it briefly, and a little bit about Waboo.
Yeah.
And yeah, he'll probably ask him about.
We should definitely do an RP back and forth about like any more questions you have for him. I think the minute you sit down, he hangs his shoulder over the railing, which the table is right at, and he looks over down. Brolin says, "Oh, it looks like he found another friend, a popular one. That one. He'll be up here soon enough." And you say, "Well, what? You seem as though you have a question on your mind for me. I have a sense for these things. What do you want to know? More about your grandfather."
Yeah. I'd love to know any stories you have.
Stories. And he pulls at his beard. And he just says, "Really the one. I'm going to interact with him much. He was quite the character. I wish I could really offer you more. I've really only ever gotten to interact with him a series of times, 1 or 2. But they were both very interesting. He had a tale to tell himself both times." And he starts to just go into that, starting to delve into his time with Waboo. I'll detail that more for you in just a moment as I bounce around the inn here. Valfine, what are you doing? I want to get back to Brolin, but you've turned away from what's happening here. Yeah.
Did I spot Alexandria be taken away by?
Oh yeah.
Fluffy people.
Yeah, yeah.
Not so fluffy people.
Yeah. Your passive is giving you quite a good view of this place.
You bet it is. How far are they to the staircase?
They're about as far up as War. They're almost at the top.
and I see Frisha and Brolin still at the bar.
Yep, and you see this this individual, which I'll detail right now. It is a tabaxi who's he's very, very tall. About, like, I would say anywhere between 6 foot, 6'5", extremely tall, lanky, wearing very much what a like your typical rogue like getup. Darker clothes. You see all kinds of knives, a hood. The ears are flapped down. You can see scars riddling his face. He's got a white fur, and these bright green eyes, and a look on his face of just it's very angular, very pointy, and just sort of shows an extreme amount of experience behind every movement he takes. He doesn't wear any shoes. He's got those cat feet right out, and he just slides with every step that he makes, and he is just dripping in like combat experience.
Okay, dangerous, got it.
Yeah.
Do I recognize him?
No, you're not from the port. I don't think you do. He definitely looks the gladiatorial type. Like, he's armed to the T, and the only people really armed to the T in here are either, like, adventurers, or the level he is show-offy. Like, to the point where it's not exactly, like, this probably wouldn't be what he brings to the fight, but it's what he brings to be like, look at me. You know?
So, very show-offy people are potentially noisy. Noise is bad. What do I want to do? There's so many things.
There is a lot of things going on.
So many things. I'm going to... Delphine is going to slip through the crowd, see if she can follow Alexandria.
Okay. Yeah.
And see where the room is.
Okay. You go ahead and make an acrobatics check to slip through the crowd. Are you trying to chase her down, kind of thing? Are you trying to get close to her?
Just to keep a distance. I'm not trying to smash people's faces in or anything.
You're following them, though?
Yes.
Make a stealth check.
Okay. Do I have advantage?
Why?
If I put my hood up.
Oh, yeah, you want to put your hood up, you can.
I'm going to double check that that's what that does, so I don't screw myself, because it's been since November.
Not sure it works in urban situations.
Does it?
He wears his cloak with his hood up. Wisdom checks made to see you have disadvantage, and you have advantage on stealth checks made to hide as the cloak's color shifts to camouflage you.
If you're trying to follow them without being noticed that you're following them, yeah, stealth check with advantage for me.
Hell yeah! All right, there we go. That is a survival check, not the same thing.
All right. Yeah, you are
the night off great here, guys.
Yeah, you are. You are trying to get right behind them. You are a distance away, but you are right on their trail, trying to follow them to wherever they are taking her. Back over to Brolin, who is sitting at the bar with only Frisha now. All of your old friends are gone. Your one new friend is here with you, and a very old. Yeah, this is an old acquaintance of yours. You and Vlad, Brolin. Let's see. You haven't really seen him face to face since your fight with him, where you defeated him. You do know that things went really bad for Vlad Krishif after you defeated him. He lost a lot of notoriety by losing to you, as you brought to the arena something very new in shapeshifting that was accepted and seen as kind of like a new kind of game situation, and he was very old school. And you new school beat old school in this situation, and he lost a lot of reputation, and a lot of things went bad for him after that loss. After that, you didn't hear about him, and you didn't think he was going to be your problem anymore. But here he is, live in the flesh, in his arena gear, staring you down, and he says, "Are you drunk?"
You know.
You definitely smell drunk.
Hey,
That's just what dwarves smell like.
Yeah.
This is true. Most dwarves do smell.
Hey, how about we have a drink? How about you come here?
He puts a hand ever so slightly onto the table, but it has an intimidation to it in the same way of someone slamming their hand onto the table. But he lets it slide onto the table very slickly. He says, I am not interested in drink, my little dwarf friend. I have been waiting for you to come back to port for some time.
Oh, excuse me, my throat. You have?
Almost a month now. And he curls his whiskers a little bit. He says, you see, I've taken back some of the reputation that you took from me. I have a new sponsor, one who will remain anonymous. But I would like you to take a quick look up there. And he points towards the roster of Arena. And you're down pretty far, because you haven't been here. You're like 16th, and he's 5th. And he says, I am climbing my way back up, Brolin. Back from where you put me so low those many months ago. But it's not enough to defeat you when you aren't even here. I would like you and I, as dear friends as we are, to possibly, well, maybe have a rematch.
I'm not helping this time.
You haven't been here for so long. I heard you went traveling into the jungle to take the place of your sick brother. My condolences, Fireforge.
Oh, my face.
You don't. It says you don't seem up to par as what you used to be. Perhaps this fight won't be worth it.
I'd like to see you with 7 drinks and see how you could get going.
He looks at you and he just says, reckless. You did not deserve the spot you had before. Are you a coward, Brolin Fireforge?
Oh no. Are you calling me a coward, you soft bastard?
What if I was, you tiny little dwarf?
Well, let me tell you, I bet your hands are really soft. I don't know why he said that.
He looks around for a moment, just not knowing how to respond, and he just says, regardless of your stupidity, I still want my revenge.
I've decided that I can't get good stories out of Brolin if this guy is intimidating him like this. So I say that we should all have a drink as friends.
Are you casting a spell?
Of course.
Pretty sure. Oh, let's make a wisdom saving throw.
Holy shit.
It is charmed for you for 1 minute, although your target is under control. It takes your request. Okay, yeah. You get 1 minute of friendship out of this guy. Let's see. Let me get his stat here.
1 minute of friendship.
That DC is gonna be nuts, isn't it?
What is the DC? It's 15.
Oh, okay. Not bad.
Let me get his stat here. Okay.
There's a part of me that just thought about using suggestion to do this, which would have been funnier.
Okay, what kind of save?
15 wisdom. Oh, yeah, 15 wisdom.
Okay. Oh. He fails. What do you say to him?
I am going to now try to persuade him that we should all just have drink as friends because Brolin is obviously too drunk for him to do anything.
He will turn over to you and look, and his eyes you see glaze over, and he says, "Wait, are you Frisha Larkspur? You were in here the other day telling tales of my recent victory. I made a lot of gold because of you. You are friends with him?"
I was listening to interesting stories of his adventures.
Oh, trust me, there's not much interesting about Brolin Fireforge. I would have something to tell you, though. Let's sit. I will deal with this cur later.
And he sits on your opposite side. Completely entranced with you. Completely entranced with you for 1 minute. So as you are speaking,
Do I need a persuasion check for that too?
no, he's entirely charmed by you. He still doesn't like Brolin, but he's just like, I don't care about him. You helped me with advertisement before. Let's talk business. And his elongated body shortens slightly as he sits down next to you. And yeah, you start to have a conversation. But before we get into that, Brolin, what are you doing are you just sitting, continuing to drink?
No, I think seeing the guy and calling him a coward and then talking about his dead brother, he's probably trying to sober up. Like, oh, okay, Brolin.
Come on, we gotta get ready on the other side of Frisha. Frisha's your
Brolin.
barrier between you two.
Barkeep, water, please. Please, water. Just water.
We do not serve water. Do you want honey,
Oh. No. Yeah, I gotta get sober.
Perhaps you head over to the port. The water is clean enough.
Oh.
Maybe this is.
It's not. Spoilers, it's not.
Yeah, they don't serve water here in this place. You gotta go to like Kaya's House of Repose or another place with plumbing. They don't have that here.
Milk. You got milk. Non-alcoholic milk. Something.
Goat milk?
Sure. Bread. Give me a lot of bread. Eat it.
Not much on bread, but you can get goat milk directly from the goat in the back.
Oh, you.
Here is a cup. He gives you like a tin cup.
Brolin starts slapping himself. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
It'll be a copper for the milk.
Yeah, you're trying to wake yourself up as Frisha's distracting your rival. Moving over, I think we'll move over to Alexandria. Alexandria, you are escorted into a room in the back. The noises of the bar, the music, and the cacophonous crowd are dulled, but still very audible within this chamber. It's your basic like room. There's nothing really special about it. You got a couple beds, dressers, your whole shebang for staying the night. And as the door slams, one second. Tifa puts a hand to her head, and she just looks absolutely just stressed out the entire situation. And Losu's trying to calm her down. And as he's doing so, you've sort of been like escorted into the middle of the room kind of situation, and Losu's just like, Tifa, just relax. Do not let your anger get a hold of you. Find saloon and within. And she's like, I am all Shah right now, okay? I don't care. Someone followed us here. One of your friends. And he looks, and she looks over to Losu. Perhaps you should deal with them. And he says, I do not want to leave the room right now. I don't believe it would be great to leave you two alone. Says, well,
it's a friend. As long as it isn't the dwarf, we're fine.
Says, Tifa's just, I do not think you understand, Alexandria. How well do you trust your friends?
70-30.
Not enough. Not enough. Says, if you were to find her, if you were to give her something, offer her something, and she could, she would turn on you. She says,
He, she being...
speaking of your rival. She won't say the name.
oh, I see.
But Tifa will look at you and say, she's trying to calm herself down. She says, you need to make a choice, Alexandria.
We lost you for an entire day. We're here on a mission that we accomplished. We have gained Wakonga's favor, however temporary it may be. We cannot be away from the Pride for much longer. Your status in the Pride depends almost entirely upon your presence. Losu looks like he's gonna wait for her to, like, say, because he looks like he's got something to say, but he's gonna wait for her to give her full spiel of exactly how she feels. She says, I don't know why Kronga chose you, or why Saloon is choosing you, or why Fiare is chosen you. Something they see in you, I don't know what it is, but it's there. I just don't know if you have chosen it yet. Do you say anything?
Oh, I felt like she was warming up into a spiel there, so I...
She pauses. She's waiting. She wants to hear your response.
I don't know. I just came to find direction. I wasn't expecting to be anybody's leader.
We are
I
without.
certainly didn't want to fight anybody for it.
Says, we are without a leader. And in the place of you is a tyrant that I do not want to see stand.
She says,
Who? Which path are you willing to take? There can only be one or the other.
at which point Losu steps in.
He says, Sister, there is more than one. She follows the path of both Saloon and Shah. Individually, they are chaos and law, but both must exist together.
She turns to you and says,
Does your soul call you to these people? These friends?
Yes.
Do you feel that your path to Saloon, to enlightenment, is with her, with them? We need you, but we cannot have you if you will not have us. If you see your path with them, then we must search elsewhere.
perhaps it is.
not.
Go ahead.
I am... My place is not to be sat down and to hold still. I need to be moving. There are things I need to accomplish that I can't do in the tribe grounds.
Tifa looks a bit heartbroken. And Losu's doing his absolute best to try and make her understand. He will say, I understand. And I believe that Tifa will too. The path of both dark and light is a crooked one. It winds around itself. Wherever it leads, none of us know. It is true that the pride will hold you down. You will be committed to it. And if you are not ready to make that commitment, then, if you were to, it could kill you. Says Tifa kind of like holding back any kind of emotion the best she can. She'll say, I thought you were the one, but perhaps you are just not the one right now.
I am the leader you deserve, but not the one you need right now.
That's a good line. No, that's still a good line. She'll say,
Perhaps one day you will be. She
When
says,
I've grown strong enough to bear the burden of leading, I will return.
well, we must find another way to deal with him. And we will. And Losu will say, put a hand on his shoulder, and we will, sister. In the meantime, know that you are welcome to return, but we cannot guarantee your safety if you do.
When I return, I won't need your protection.
And Tifa will say, I pray that you will not. She says, I hope that your friends can help you, keep you safe. He will still be looking for you until there is another threat. And
Well, they
go ahead.
can't keep me as safe as the two of you can, but I'll make do.
And she'll look to Losu and say, brother, we are no longer needed here. We must go. And Losu will nod, and she'll look to you and say, best of luck on your journeys, Alexandria. I wish you the blessing of Shah and Salu. And she turns with definitely tears in her eyes. She seems extremely upset. She's very passionate about you. The day that she went with you, she fought another to take her place. She was very passionate about you as a leader. So she's definitely heartbroken, but she's made to understand by her brother. And they turn to leave the key to the room at the table and a sack of gold.
Alexandria has a girlfriend.
Yeah, she might have had some extra emotions there. But yeah, there is a sack of coin. There's a sack of coin and the key to the room. They'll leave behind. Also, a single tooth. It's one of Kronga's teeth.
Oh, good. Just need a few more, and I'll have the whole set.
Yeah, it's one of her. It is one of Kronga's teeth on a necklace.
I'll just pop the cork open on this vial and shove it in there with her ashes, then.
Oh my goodness. So, cracking open. You look into the sack?
I don't think she will. She doesn't care about money.
Oh.
So she'll pocket it, but
I just noticed.
unless there's like something in there other than coins, she'd probably feel that when she picks it up and be curious.
I'm stealing your Brolin. I'm stealing your platinum. You shouldn't have platinum.
No.
Oh, it's mine now.
That is definitely platinum, not silver.
Yeah. I'm putting so say yes to the steal. On roll 20, Brolin.
Oh no.
And here's your silver.
I like how you have to agree to be stolen from.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it worked that way in real life.
Let it go. No way.
Do not consent.
I'm gonna keep stealing. Just say yes to all of that, and then your seven copper are right on Turkey Anchorage, or your 7 silver. In the bag, just so I don't forget, is 50 platinum.
What?
Alexandria.
Oh.
500 gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, it turns out I don't need you. I just need your money.
I just need your money. That was a lot of money in the pride. Hey man, when you kill caravans and shit and
Listen, that was aggressive requisitioning. All right, those people didn't die.
That
They
tiger.
had accidents.
That tiger
No,
woman was
they
in
were
love with.
trespassing, and you guys collected a toll.
It's true. They ignored the warning signs. Skulls on spikes.
That tiger loved you and wanted you to make the jungle great again.
She did. She believed in you. You had the belief. ED.
As in no longer?
Oh, it's definitely been shook. That belief has been shook.
All right, fine. Guess I have to make a new character.
Those two leave. So those two leave that room and pass you, Valfine, and as they do, Tifa stops and looks at you, and gets like really close in an intimidating way towards you. Assuming that you are one of her friends, you look like somebody different. But you look like a sort of rustic guy, right? Kind of a warrior type.
I'm a wizard in like a robe, and I've got a beard, not like a super long.
Yeah,
beard, it's full. Yeah.
She'll get close to you, knowing easily spotting your 11 stealth and knowing you were the one following, and she will look and she'll say,
"We are leaving. You best take good care of her. If anything happens and I hear it, you will have a hunter on your trail."
And she
You were gonna say something else, were you?
I was gonna say a hunter on your. I couldn't think of what it was. A hunter on your ass. Yeah, she'll say that instead.
You will have a hunter on your ass.
And she probably say arse.
Enough of me for both of you.
Yeah, and yeah, she's extremely intimidating. And they leave the Thundering Lizard, and the door is left open a crack, and it'll just be Alexandria and Valfine up here on this floor. We'll see how that goes. Let's move over. It's like the perfect moment. The ex-girlfriend has left. The new one is moving in.
Oh my god.
The key to the room.
So, War, your table with Uncle Adric. Yeah, he will. I want to RP this a little bit, just to make sure he's told you everything that he can. So, my time with Waboo, though short as it was and memorable, was memorable. Yes, our interaction was simply that of alliance of convenience. Though it turned into something a little bit more true-hearted alliance. Us dwarves and the turtles thought very much the same. Back when I was captain of the guard at Rockmar, my brother just under me, Brolin's father, it was a difficult time. Ross and C had we don't really know what happened to him, but his undead horde was unleashed upon the peninsula. It reached the far corners and even us. We defended ourselves as best we could, were able to repel the attack, though it spent many of our resources and eventually led to our downfall to the Dragon Cinder. But they, unfortunately, did not have the same resources as us, and they were not far off some of our ships. We aided them, and I was on some of those ships. Did the best we could. They lost a warrior, a very strong one, on the shores, one that had defended them for some time, and took all they could to defend themselves after that. We aided them. Kroll? I'm not sure. I was never given a name of the warrior. But they lost their greatest defender, and in so their morale broken. We came to them in a time of great need. There was little we could do to save their island, but it was well destroyed. I did my best to, what's the word now? To, diplomacy, something of that matter, with Waboo. He was a de facto leader of the time in the place of this Kroll individual. That I guess you to say if you would know the tale better than I imagine, passed down and whatnot. And we worked together to migrate them to a new place. Though we not exactly where that is. They went east, from what I know, and very private about their new place. But we had made an alliance that if we were ever to meet ourselves again, we would help each other in whatever way we could. Though the peninsula became far too dangerous for us to ever really interact beyond that.
So, we really never saw them again. Wabu shared quite a few good stories. He seemed to be adamant that his time was coming to an end, and he wanted to see his people off in the right direction before he had gone. He was quite old when I knew him, but imagine he probably lived a lot longer. Seemed still to have quite a lot of spunk left in him. But that's as far as I remember, but I'll never forget that face. He was quite the character, as I said before. Story-wise, he mostly small morals that didn't make a whole lot of sense. A lot of us just sort of, we would do one thing, and then he would say, I believe we were in the middle of storming a beach. And then he started to talk about how when a storm hits a beach and displaces the many pieces of sand upon it, it is much like one soul being separate. It didn't make any sense. But for some reason, the other turtles understood. I don't know. Perhaps it was a turtle thing. Other than that, I don't have much else to offer you. Quite a coincidence, though, as I said before, that you are his blood.
Was he a patient?
Wabu? No. Not really. He was patient when he got his way. When he didn't, he was quite adamant about being vocal about it. Used that cane of his and definitely hit a couple people in the head, possibly even myself. Definitely the type to take charge. Felt as though he was a grandfather to me as well. He gave that feeling to pretty much everyone he talked to.
I've gotten that feeling quite a bit lately. I've been
Lately?
a couple times with that stick.
Is he still alive?
No.
He was alive, though, so you were able to meet him. He must have lived quite a while. Then how old are you?
How to explain this? He and my ancestors come to me in dreams.
I remember you showing me something that was quite peculiar, some sort of spiritual resonance.
Yes. That is a piece of it, I believe.
You speak to him through there. Tell him old Adrix said hello. Are you in there, Wabu? You old rascal. You never came back. Where did you go?
It seems the drunkenness runs in the family.
Yeah, he's got like that white flesh is definitely like rosy red in the cheeks. Excellent. Where do we move to from there? Back down to Brolin and Freesia, I think.
Oh.
Freesia, you're in the middle of having this conversation with him. How is this going? Like, what are you, he's just like,
So, you do know that I recently defeated the undead challenge of late. That was only last week, and not many have told the tale, though I haven't spent the coin. Perhaps we can make a deal.
and you can see there's a poster on the wall for like the Arena Undead Challenge to defeat a horde of undead. And there's like a gold like price at the end. It's like 100 gold pieces. And yeah, he's trying to make a business deal. He's like, perhaps you could write a ballad. I believe last time I heard you had quite the singing voice, quite pretty as well. And then he gets a little bit actually make a charisma save, Freesia. Okay, 23. You can tell he wants to come on to you to try to get a better price, and you're kind of like sliding it off here and there. He probably says something along the lines of, "You know, I'm quite available for fans." He's like, perhaps we can find another way of compensation.
I do not mix business and pleasure.
He just goes, oh, of course. I was simply suggesting that maybe there is another way. Company, perhaps, doesn't have to be all about pleasure. It could be simply business.
Yeah, he's definitely flirting with you. I think you could definitely tell that he's trying to get a little bit extra out of here.
Hey, Dustin, buddy.
Yeah.
You're still unmuted, by the way. If you were planning on, we can kind of hear something going on over there.
Can you hear something? I'm just sitting here.
It was just your mic might be touching like something.
Oh.
You're good. Felicia, what's your conversation like with him? Are you just trying to keep him occupied?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to keep him occupied and leading him in a path that leads him away from Brolin, because I want to talk to the very drunk Brolin about all of his stories.
Ooh, okay, make a... I will say this normally would be disadvantaged, because he still is set on challenging Brolin, like, big time. This is like a life goal for this person. So I would say because he's charmed, it would take away the disadvantage and be a normal roll. So just give me a persuasion check to try to get him to forget about Brolin in the situation. Oh! You can't. He is absolutely beyond the charm. He is absolutely not interested in breaking that away. In fact, I'll say with a natural 1, the charm begins to fade, and he kind of like shakes his head a little bit, and he just says, "Wait a minute. Why am I talking to you? Though I am wasting my time. I make my own money with Bard's tales. They tell them freely." And he sits up and he says, "Brolin Fireforge." And he looks around and sees you're still in your seat. "Oh, you have not run. Surprising."
Have I sobered up at all?
Make a Constitution save with disadvantage because you're poisoned.
Brolin. Oh, Brolin.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, Brolin, you have to
Still a
do this.
DC 17.
Oh.
Disadvantage because you are poisoned.
Oh.
You can't get out of it. The room is still like, it's like you step up, and he sees you, and he says, "Still in your seat, I see. Not so much a coward after all. Of course, that's still to be decided. I have offered you a challenge, Brolin."
What did you say?
"I challenge you, little dwarf, to a rematch. I will retake my pride."
You picked a really bad time to ask me this.
And he looks at you and he says,
"The last 3 months of my life have been the worst because of you. I don't care if this is a bad time, Brolin."
Oh. Why do you want to fight me? Everybody here wants to fight me. Tiger wanted to fight me.
"I don't care who else wants to fight you. You did not ruin their lives. You ruined mine. And don't worry, I am not..."
good.
He just says, "I had to work back up to this, Brolin, and you do not want to know where I dove to get here. The bottom is quite far down." And he'll look.
Has disadvantage against cats.
Yeah,
Apparently.
he'll look you. He'll look you up and down, and he says, "But do not worry, Brolin, or Fireforge rather." And he says, "I have honor, unlike you. I will not fight you in this state. We will fight tomorrow, or perhaps the day after, if you need that much time to sharpen your claws once again. You see, mine have stayed quite sharp."
So what? Did they grow back?
"What I'm saying is that I have been fighting and you have been sitting in the jungle for months." He says, "You have not been in the arena for some time. Things have changed."
Listen, I can't sit in the jungle. I have to walk. There's no room. There's no stools.
He smiles and he'll say, "I don't want to defeat you, Brolin, after you've spent so long away from your home. I want you to be as strong as you were then." And he points over to the undead poster of the undead challenge to defeat a horde by yourself for 100 gold pieces. "I did that with one hand tied behind my back. One paw, rather." And he'll say, "Go and ask the brokers at the arena. A lot of people made a lot of money that day."
How many undead did you kill? You gotta be specific. I bet you counted.
He says, "I cannot give you any information. You need to train yourself. Defeat them, and then we will fight."
But
He says, "Look at you.
You are a disappointment, a mess, a drunk. Come out of the jungle. You smell. I want to fight the Brolin that I fought before. The champion. What do you say? Do you deny me? If you do so, you will lose all honor.
Oh, he rubs his temples. All right. We'll talk tomorrow and we'll set a date. You stupid fluffy bastard. Now leave me alone. I need to sober up, and this stupid woman keeps giving me drinks.
He gets he gets uncomfortably close to you at the bar, and he'll say, "Don't worry, Brolin. I will leave you alone. But if you go anywhere..."
Are you coming on to me or something?
He just says, "Listen to me closely, Fireforge. If you go anywhere, if you run from this, I will make sure that your name is dragged so deep through the mud that no one will remember you. You hear me?"
Crystal clear. But if I beat you, you gotta let me pet your head.
If you beat me, Brolin, I will give you my magical daggers.
Oh, okay, that's great.
That's
I'll
how
give him
assured I am of
I'll give him the
victory.
Valfine. She'll love him.
Says, do whatever you want with them, but it is only a fantasy. You're not going to win.
And he'll slowly step back, and he'll shout to the whole bar,
Let it be known that in 3 days' time, I, Vlad the Impaler, will fight Brolin Fireforge, the Shapeshifter.
and you immediately hear people like whisper, like,
Brolin Fireforge back, Brolin Fireforge, Vlad the Impaler, Vlad the Impaler.
Oh, no.
and they're immediately like, you see coin be tossed back and forth, and he says, "I have to advertise, Brolin. 3 days." And he starts to back out of the building.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So yeah, he backs his way out of the bar. Frisha, he's been left alone at last.
Well, I guess now he's heavily distracted, so I have to distract him again.
No. No more beer. I don't want any more.
He's very drunk. I think you've got him definitely where you want.
I'm doing
I
drugs.
guess I am going to persuade Brolin. How hard is it to persuade you to tell me about stories about your jungle experience?
Roll something.
Roll
Yeah,
anything.
You got it. You got it.
This bro will just start talking about everything that happened.
No. It's like, what do you want to know? Do you want me? I fought an army. Yeah, I fought a group of chickens. There's some big dinosaurs. There's a giant spider explosion cave-in.
He fought an explosion.
Dinosaur explosion cave-in.
Dinosaur explosion cave-in, my friend. My best friend Alexander almost died 3 times.
Best friend. It's so good.
She died. She just died. Almost died.
My closest friend.
My closest friend Alexandria almost died 3 times. We go to a fort. There's zombies, lots of zombies. We fight an elf. He's cold. He's cold. He's chilly. And the fort burns down. We go. The closest thing I have to a sister dies to a plant. He dies to a plant. He starts crying at that. Yeah.
Is the sniffling like a part of the thing, or are you actually sick?
No, I am actually sick, but
It's
It's perfect.
Then we fight a boar man. He's big. He's got a club. He's angry. I make him really piss him off. But he was racist, so it's okay. But it's okay. And then he comes back, and then we kill him. He's dead. Where do I start with the wear time?
We move slowly over.
Everything we've worked for.
We move slowly over to upstairs. Valfine, you are standing right outside Alexandra's door. Alexandra, you're stepping out of the door, right?
No. She's gonna have a cry.
Okay, yeah. Over the sound of the tavern behind you in this hallway that juts its way into the upper levels of the Thundering Lizard, you can hear in the only occupied room a soft whimpering. Valfing.
Your wife who needs you.
You look like an old wizard.
Oh God. I'm trying to breathe. Hang on. Okay, so yeah. All right. Oh shit. How close am I to the door?
Right next to it.
I was standing there when they came out.
They came out, and you probably stepped in further to find Alexandria because she wasn't with them. If that's who you were looking for, would you have not stepped further? The two left, yeah.
I would have. I think with the finger snap, I'm gonna drop disguise self before I go in there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. She's not gonna barge in there or swing the door open.
No.
I think probably lean in a second and give it. How closed is the door? Is it all the way open? Is it like swung open? Did they come out in a fury?
They didn't lock it. They just closed it behind them.
Just just gonna knock softly on it.
Yeah, she'll sniffle and slap her face and press digitize her cheek so the tears aren't there anymore. And then she's gonna say, "Come, yes, who is it?"
It's me. Did I interrupt anything? Haven't opened the door yet. Just kind of.
Yeah, she's gonna take a second to try and figure out who me is, because it's really loud and she doesn't quite recognize the voice immediately. But then goes, "Oh, right, that's Valfine. No, you can come in."
Gentle crack in the door, and you kind of peek around the corner and make sure, one, that there are no were-tigers in this room, and two, that you're composed and dressed. And then I guess slowly swing the door open and step in.
How are things, Valfine? I'm pretty sure I can hear Brolin over all of everything.
Oh yeah, you know, these elven ears don't miss a lot. He's quite the loud one.
Yes, he certainly is.
At this point, you probably hear the best friend, Alexandria.
My best friend, Alexandria!
No, how could I hear that? My passive perception is not very high.
The two loudest
Do I
people.
hear that with mine?
Yeah, the two loudest people in the bar are Brolin Fireforge and Adric Fireforge.
Valfine's gonna pause a second, and then sit next to you, wherever you're sitting. Are you on the bed? Are you on a chair? Or are you?
She's got her elbows propped up on a table, and she's just resting her chin in her hands and staring blankly.
Is there another chair in there, Ed? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it like a full table set?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess Valfine will sit down across from you, and kind of, she's not she's not super charismatic or very social, so like scanning your face, trying to, I guess, kind of read the situation, but I mean, social stuff is not the thing. not staring, not awkwardly, but kind of the internal dialogue is more like what I what, maybe no, well,
So, you here to avoid the din downstairs as well?
That's part of it. It's a little crowded for me, especially after running into a bunch of assassins in the road. I wasn't really looking forward to coming into a very noisy bar after almost being murdered.
Yeah, it's not the best timing to go drinking, but what can you do? It's the closest building we could find, right?
Yeah. I'm just gonna pause for a second and try and think what Josh is gonna say. You disappeared a couple weeks ago, and I didn't hear anything from you. I woke up and you were gone.
I know, right? I didn't think I was going to be able to get out of camp without having to talk to you about it. But, looked like you decided to do that sleeping thing that us lesser races do for once.
Yeah, I've been exhausted lately.
Lately as in since then?
Since before that. The shop, the lady that took our hair, my hair.
Yeah, just your hair, not my hair. Don't give the gods any ideas.
Yeah. Where did you go?
Well, I was just perusing the other stuff in the shop while you were dealing with that.
I mean, weeks before, when you disappeared.
Oh. I went... Well, I guess it's kind of obvious, isn't it? I went to the Were-Tigers.
I gathered that much, since you did return with 2 of them.
Oh, they just started following me, you know? Couldn't get them to leave me alone. Just that animal magnetism.
Yeah. Animal magnetism. You're a terrible liar.
What? Alright. That's it. Deception roll. Let's go. We'll see how the dice feel about that.
You want to do it? Go ahead.
You know who's a terrible liar? Frisha.
Damn it.
Oh man, that's
what do I roll against deception?
You don't have to roll. You can use your passive insight. So 10 plus your passive. The base beats it. Even if you had 0, you'd have to have negative. You'd have to have a 1 in your passive, in your perception to not. In your little perception score, you'd have to have a 1.
Is it lying insight?
It's insight, yeah,
That's what I was
passive
thinking
insight.
was Insight wisdom, right?
Yeah, passive insight wisdom.
She's gonna kind of stop for a second and raise an eyebrow without quipping back at you. She's clearly actually interested instead of hearing some bullshit.
Oh, well, I don't know. I didn't really want anybody to see me the way I was at that goblin camp, and something about those were-tigers just called to me in a way, and I wanted to go find answers. And I didn't want, or rather I didn't feel like I belonged anymore. So I thought I could try and take out 2 birds with 1 stone and see why the were-tigers were calling to me and kind of try and move on.
Did you find what you were looking for?
Found a lot more teeth than I was looking for, but no, I don't think that is the path for me. I don't like what I am, and I run away when people find out, and I don't think that's really what I should be doing anymore.
Well, looking at our current group of misfits, and I use the term lightly, I don't think you have to worry about fitting in. I know that I haven't in a little while. They used to mean a lot to me until recently.
Fitting in?
Yeah.
With other elves, or?
No, not other elves. Just in general. Let's just say I haven't exactly been the most social creature in the last few months, years even. I spent my days in dark libraries and other things.
Studying?
Studying, yeah. Studying a lot.
What were you trying to learn?
I don't know. I feel like the longer I've spent studying, the less I know.
Well, that's just ineffectual research. So, honestly, everybody can be expected to make that mistake one way or another. My master was really hard on me about that, in fact, but I can teach you what I know. It's really easy once you just learn to focus.
She laughs at you. What do you mean? I won't ask.
Well, there's plenty of methods to effectively study. I mean, just think about it. You pick up one book, they mention something about Ragor's theorem, and then you're just thinking, what's Ragor's theorem? So then you have to go find R, and if it's a big library, you're going to spend at least 20 minutes looking up Ragorster when you're really there to learn about postulates.
I don't think I have an issue with doing research, but I'll think about your offer.
Oh, fair enough.
All right. We turn away from this somewhat sentimental scene between the two characters, Valfine and Alexandria. As we turn back into the bar proper, I think we see Brolin spilling his guts about everything that's happened. Freesia, you have an action here you wanted to slam down. Would you give that to me?
Yeah. Frisia is very subtly leading Brolin's stories towards Artist Simber. Whenever it's brought up, there's a lot more questions.
Yeah. He wants to know more about your friend Artist Simber, who seems intriguing. This is what Brolin, pretty drunk. Just give me a taste of what that sounds like. Dustin, are you there? We lost him. He's gone forever. Oh, my dear friend. Okay, go ahead.
To the lesbian.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Just give me a taste of what it sounds like as Freesia tries to ask you more about this interesting character you traveled with, Artist Simber, that you probably mentioned.
I know exactly what I'm going to say. Artist Simba. You start sobbing. Dragon bait. I take it back. He's my best friend. He's the only one who ever understood me. He never judged me.
Ever understood me.
He always understood me. He never said anything, but I can tell we were brothers. And then he goes on about Dragon Bait.
And you keep trying to bring it back to Artist Simber.
Oh no, she seems pretty happy
About learning about Dragon Bait?
that he knows who Dragon Bait is.
Okay. Yeah, you just let him go on. You just listen in. Our camera turns and swishes up towards the top with War at the table with Uncle Adir. Or no, it's Eldrick. I want to call him Adir for some reason. Uncle Eldrick. And he's in the middle of talking to you, War, about some old war story. Sort of going on as you drink, and then he turns in a direction that because you're looking at him facing the railing, and he looks up like he's looking at someone, and he just goes, "Girlfriend of yours?" And he points over behind you, and you do see there's a shadow. You turn, and you see a familiar face, a smiling face facing you. She looks a lot cleaner, a lot better, a lot healthier than last you saw her. You see Captain Salhalla, and she has a big smile, and she says, "War, I thought that was you. I've never seen another turtle." And she says, "Come here." And she comes in for a hug. And she's just
War stands up and gives her a hug.
She says, "I can't believe you made it. You lived. Did you reach where you wanted to go? You're back." We made it back. We lost a few along the way. The jungle's treacherous, but most of my men are here. I can't believe I'm seeing you. And she kind of wipes away a couple of just emotional tears, and she's just like, "You saved us. Please, let me buy you a drink." And you've already had a couple on each.
War's like, "Not necessarily. Let me buy you one."
Please. And
Pleasure to see you.
it is a pleasure to see you as well. I actually had been looking for you. It was strange. I had someone ask for you. She says, "Come to the table. It's over here." And you see that there are other members of the gauntlet. They're like, "Oh, the turtle!
Yeah.
He saved us!"
Will give a nod to Adric and say, "I'll be back."
Yeah, their table's on the other side, still on a railing.
This goes, girlfriend. Yeah, I told you. He's on the other door. And this other door's like, how does that work? And he's like, oh, don't be such a stick in the mud. And yeah, you go over to the table, and you're definitely greeted very positively by the members of the Gauntlet. But as you sit down, and they're still talking, and they just have this big turtle at their table, and now they feel a little more rambunctious. Like, we got a big guy. We can, we can act a little more crazy. Salhalla will look to you and just say, I'm just. I just did not know if I'd ever be seeing you again. I assumed I wouldn't. We have not shipped out yet back to Cormyr. We received orders to stay and wait for reinforcements, but I believe that our time with the Gauntlet is coming to a swift end. At which point you see one of the guys, he's got his badge, and he rips it off, and he's like, "Fuck the Gauntlet!" He slams it on the table, and she's like, we may or may not be participating in a little bit of, let's not call it, what's the word when they run away? When people run away from war. Desertion. Yeah. Let's just say the higher-ups have a mind for killing us rather than helping us, so we are going to find our own way. And says, of course, we still hold well the tenets of Tyr. And they all go, oh, right, no, yeah, yes. Says, of course. She says, yes, and when we are pushed in a direction that we cannot be pushed in anymore, we must stand up for ourselves. That is true justice. And she'll say, but yes, no, I had someone ask for you. In fact, and she'll look over the railing. I believe, is that Brolin? No, she never met No, she did meet Brolin. Says, yeah, she did. She says, is that Brolin? I should go down there and punch him. Says, actually, that's interesting. I figured she would find you. She's the one who was asking for you.
Also, she's sitting on the bar, not on a stool.
Not on a stool. The blonde one. Prisha, I believe her name is. She was very interested in our prisoner, Artist Simba. I mentioned you, and I mentioned that there was quite a possibility that you had interacted with him, since I know that he was freed, and I am a very good captain. I keep a good eye on my prisoners. I believe it was one of you that freed them, though I imagined that at the time, and she finds difficulty to mention the name of her previous superior. I can't. I do too. I find difficulty as I scroll down. She'll say, Niles was holding them against their will, so in the moment I did not see any harm in it. I assumed that they went with you. I apologize if I may have endangered you. She did not seem dangerous, but she seemed very interested in you and Artis. I would at least be careful. I figured as a friend I would give you that heads up.
Yeah. She's been hopeful so far. I've met her.
I imagine she will be. Perhaps she was an ally to him at one point. She would not give me much detail, but I just want to make sure that you know that this individual has possibly alternative intentions. You are my friend and I care about you. I bit my tongue the moment I gave that away. I didn't think it would be an issue, but I want to make sure that you are safe.
It's fine. Thank you.
She's quite the talker, by the way. Found myself saying things I wouldn't normally. And she just thinks for a moment, says, be careful with that one.
Okay. I will keep that in mind.
Are the others here? Has everyone survived? And you know that everyone she knew has.
Right. That's what
Other than Asteria, you haven't seen Asteria in a few days.
They saw her this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw her this morning. Yeah, no, it's perfectly fine. Yeah.
We haven't even gone back.
Never mind. It's been a few days out of game. It's still same day.
Yes, our group. We all made it to where we're going and have returned since. But
it is good to know that.
Trial getting back.
Says, well, I'm glad to see that you surpassed such trials. We are going to be in port for some time before we make our way to the Moonshay Isles. That is our next destination. There's said to be mercenary work there, and Tyr's light has not yet reached those forgotten shores.
Moonshay Isles.
Very far to the northwest, rather.
Well, the only job offer I had fell through, so maybe once we finish our business here, I'll look you up.
You would be most welcome among our ranks, though of course we would no longer be the Gauntlet, just independent mercenaries. If you were to find us, we will be in a place called Snowdown.
Okay. Do you have a name for yourselves yet?
Not yet. We've been thinking. We have a couple of really bad names. And he says, "What? The shits are a really good name." it's just like, these shits are the worst possible name. We will find something better with time. Of course, we will be taking up mercenary jobs to help people rather than anything else. Perhaps take the path of adventurers. You may have inspired us.
Well, keep yourself safe. That's the first rule.
We'll be in town for another 10 days before we take off. It will take a while for our ship to be ready, and we still have to get a little bit more money. Alan over here needs to win in the dinosaur races, and he goes, Listen, Sal, okay, I bet on the Stampede, okay, look at him! And he points down to a obvious racer who's kind of being adored by people he's surrounded. It's like if like a NASCAR racer went into like a NASCAR bar and it was like, "It's Jeff Gordon, buy him a drink." And this guy's sitting here, he's a Goliath, and you can see his gray skin, his big bald head, and he stands about 7 feet tall above the rest, and he seems to be sitting, and he's got a very calm posture, but he's wearing these kind of colorful clothes to sort of signify his sort of racer outfit, a very colorful Chult and loose clothing, and yeah, he's a legit jockey, and you can see there's tons of people around him, and they're just like, Stampede! And so, I bet on him. He never loses, and he's going into the Unchained race. We're gonna make a ton of money. And she says, hopefully our prospects go well, and Timora is on our side, and we will be able to find our way out of here in a 10-day.
Unchained race? What is this?
And he says, oh man, do you not know about the dinosaur races? Have you ever been to port?
Passed through when I first came in.
And you didn't go to the dinosaur races? What's wrong with you? And he says,
Thanks, Kyle.
He says, listen, there's three races a day, and they're playing all week this week. Normally they only do 2 days. First, there's a 4-legged race. Then there's a 2-legged race, and all of them just your standard races. All the spikes in the horns, and they play with they play with adolescent dinosaurs as to not cause too much damage. They're fast but not dangerous. And then you got the Unchained race. They sharpen the fangs, they sharpen the tusks, and they make sure that they're damn dangerous. Fighting's allowed, and they use adult dinosaurs. It is quite the sight, and it gets close to being a bloodbath sometimes. It gets a little crazy, but the money, it's doubled, so you can really make it there. Of course, if you lose all your money, and then you have to pay that much money again. The debtors, oh boy, the debtors. It says, we have had to deal with a couple of losses, but we've made our way back. The bone breakers of Port Nines are quite influential. They make you really want to get your money.
How much do you need for this expedition of yours?
She says, well, it will cost at least 250 gold pieces to make our to secure passage on a boat to the Moonshay Isles. So far we have about 100. We're hoping to double, if not triple that, by the end of the 10-day. We've pooled that much among us from that which we have acquired working with the Gauntlet. They don't pay as well as they should. But if the races work out, and the betting on the Stampede over there, though it doesn't have the best of odds in getting us more money, it is usually a guaranteed win. A couple more races this week, and we should be all right.
Did War hear the big proclamation of?
Yeah. And I think Salhal immediately recognized that and was just like, "I'm not going over towards Brolin. Where's War?" And that was her.
You'd say, well, regardless of what's going on there, I would bet on Brolin.
Says, the arena? I heard about the fight. Do you think that he can win? I mean, I put him in the ground last time I saw him.
He's stronger than he looks. And though you sucker punched him,
I don't know. It seemed like he saw it coming.
He might have let it happen. I don't know.
Let it? I don't think he had much of a choice.
Yeah, he's a strong man.
Dwarf.
She'll say, make a persuasion check.
Okay. Where is my character sheet? There it is.
She'll say,
all the low rolls tonight.
though I trust in your belief in him, I don't believe I trust in my belief of your belief in him. And she'll say, gambling is a sin, and I do not wish to partake in it more than I need to get by. We are unable to find work in this area. With the Flaming Fist around, they have taken up any kind of mercenary jobs available. So our market is currently flooded. Gambling is our only current choice, and we need to keep it safe. I will not bet our only gold on a gambit. I will stay safe with the Stampede.
Good. He'll dig in his shell a little bit, and he'll pull out 10 gold and hand it to her and say,
No, War, I cannot. We cannot take your money. We are able to deal with us. And the guy's like, no, let him know. We'll make more money. And she's just like, I do not want to take money from a friend. We are low, but not this low.
Call it Tyr's justice. Without you and your men, we wouldn't have made it out.
And she'll just say,
take it, darling.
and he'll say, oh yeah, but we're gonna make so much more money. And he'll say,
The arena's got worse odds anyway. It's better to bet on the arena's more for flash and show. It's better to bet on the dinosaur races. Y'all should go in there if you're looking for a quick coin, by the way.
she'll say, do not encourage gambling.
It's like, oh no, of course.
Tyr, he's great. She'll give him an eye for sure. Other than that, she just wants to enjoy your company and talk to you about your journeys.
Yeah, he'd probably start asking about like their trip out and what they had to do to get out and all that.
Yeah. She'll talk about their encounter with some Yuan-Ti at the where is it? It's on the map. Oh, you went there. Camp Righteous. Well, they returned to Camp Righteous to try to gather what supplies they could, and they met with a band of Yuan-Ti, which they fought, killed one, and the rest ran off. And they seem to be searching for something in the camp, which she will inform you of, and she'll say along the lines of, Yuan-Ti anywhere, a bad omen. You do not want such things, creatures, getting their business in anywhere, really. It would be best not to see them. I would rather they work in the dark, and I be unbeknownst.
Were that would probably lean in to her and try to speak a little bit more quietly and say, well, they might be after us, but
Have you angered the Yuan-Ti? Do you have a mark?
What do you mean?
Are you marked for death?
Maybe.
She says, well, that does not sit well with me. I says, you are a dangerous person if that is the case. You should get out of the city.
Well, we're doing what we can. Just keep your eyes out. I don't want them coming after you guys.
Well, I don't believe we've drawn their ire out of simply scaring them away and killing one of their scouts. Hopefully that does not come back to bite us, but I wish you the best of luck if you are marked. Bite us. So yeah, as your conversation takes a little bit more of a hushed, like, information back and forth tone, our camera will shift once again. I wanna start closing people out, so because we have an hour left of game plan. I want to see if we can get out of this this endless day.
What we get?
Brolin and Freesia. Wait, did I was it Alexandria and Valfine? I went Alexandria and Valfine. Yeah, it's your turn. So we're coming back to you guys. So anything else with you two that happens? How do we conclude these characters out for the night?
Seducer, Val.
For the wait, what? Oh,
With my +0 charisma.
Seducer.
You might roll a nat 20.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, do you meet back up with the party? Like, I want to get everyone to a point where they're ready to either leave the inn or stay at the inn or come to a close. So get people to a point where they're ready to come to some sort of, like, meeting of the minds of how we're going to conclude the day.
I mean, we just sat and chatted for probably a while.
Yeah.
Catching up as best we could, but it's... What time is it? Do we know what time it is for me inside?
It's late. It's probably 10, 11. Getting close to midnight.
Well, I suppose it's getting late. What are you... Damn. Bleh. Where will you be sleeping tonight?
Well, I'm assuming going to be staying at Wakanga's place.
Would it be safe to travel the streets? You've lost your super guards.
You guys are literally in a room that's paid for too.
Yeah, but there are less super guards around this inn room than there are at Wakanga's place.
It's true.
I think... I'm assuming everyone is going back to Wakanga's. Wouldn't we just go as a group?
You'd have to convince the party.
Well, that shouldn't be difficult since they're sleeping there. And if we're lucky, Brolin will just be passed out drunk and we can drag him.
Meanwhile, back at the bar, he is passed out. He is passed out.
Quick cut, and he's drooling.
He's drooling. Dragon bait! Oh, dreams of dragon bait.
And Freesia is finishing her first drink.
Yeah, it's just like a tiny little glass.
After all that. Yeah.
Frisia's a talker.
If we can convince them to go, I know that War had some other business. I'm not sure. It's really loud here.
No, that's fair. It is rather loud. What the hell noise was that?
I have
We're
no
just,
idea.
yeah, we just hear Dustin's mic really well. It's all good.
Here, I'll just remove it.
You're good.
It sounded like a squelching noise.
It might have been a
Yeah,
swallow.
sorry about that, guys. I don't.
No, you're good, brother. I'm fine
No,
with it.
it's alright. It's just whatever is just gently touching it is really loud.
It's all good.
Well, should we try to find the others? I don't. Yeah, maybe we should.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
We can talk another time.
You guys can easily find Freesia enjoying just ever so, like, she's sitting on the bar, right? So she's just like, my one drink. Oh, I'm a little tipsy.
Well, she's not very big.
Yeah, she's not. Like, the one drink is like, oh, I better go sleep.
Does she are her ears pointed? She's fake, right? So
She the little less pointed than a half elf would be.
Oh, okay.
So pretty rounded, but visibly it's like a halfling point.
Okay.
Sure, Brolin is just drooling onto the table, and you can see that the barkeep is looking over to the proprietor at the door, who welcomes everyone who comes in, other than your party, because you guys had Brolin with you, and he knew Brolin with "Friend, enter, come." And then for you guys, if you remember, it's like, "What are you doing here?" that was what you got. The proprietor also Osamar, and he the bartender's looking over, just like, Brolin Fireforge over here. Like, this situation has happened before. And Osamar doesn't look happy about it. So yeah, he'll probably be happy enough to see you guys pick him up and start to get him out of there. War, you could see your group of friends down at the bar sort of gathering. What do you do? Salhalla will look down and see them and just say, "I believe just seeing you today has been enough emotion for me. I don't know if I have the strength to see them all. Kind of why I try to avoid to the side. I think it best that we go our different paths and leave our very gruesome past behind."
I agree.
It is good to see you, though.
Take care of yourself.
I will, and if you ever find yourself in the Moonshay Isles, Snowdown, remember, we'll be working for the Madam Viceroy there. She is looking for mercenaries across the Sword Coast.
I have a feeling our paths will cross again.
I'm sure they will. And you can head back down, and you guys can easily see War. Uncle Adrian look, he says, "Where you go? You taking my boy? You taking my boy somewhere?"
Probably.
Oh,
Take him back to
make sure he gets his sleep. He's a growing boy.
and he has an appointment in the morning.
He does. Oh, and he brings him down and just says, "I don't know if I told him this, and I don't know if he told you, but I gave him a quest. He is to go to Harakma and take his brother's ashes to be buried in his ancestral home. Boy, make sure that he does this. Do not let him pass this up. It's not about burying his brother. It's about something more." He says, "There is an artifact in Harakma, the Gauntlet of Moradin. He must retrieve it. Tell him, if I do not see him again."
I'll make sure.
"I forgot. I'm just really old, so I forgot to tell him. I think." He says, "Did I tell him?" I don't think so. Just tell him. Remind him.
I'll remind him. Don't worry about it.
Good. And if I don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
And a pleasure to you as well.
Waboo, your regards.
Please do. Waboo's still alive.
Nope.
Kind of. I'll go back to drinking. And yeah, the party can gather in the sort of the entrance to the inn. You see Osamar still greeting people. "My friends, you all get out of here. My friends," as he greets people. "Get him out of here." He points at Brolin and says, "Don't need any more of that in my bar." And yeah, where are you guys heading for the night? Where are you off to? Let me get Portnine's our night music. Get this tavern out. Here we go.
As you guys are leaving, Frusha is going into a giant into one of her stories
Yeah.
with one of the dinosaur race stories, but hers are always, she uses illusion, so she has like the whole scene happening around her.
Okay, yeah. Yours are some of like the most favorites. Are you staying in the bar?
Yeah, I live here.
Yeah. You stay here, and as you open up, go ahead and make a performance check with advantage. Go ahead and make that performance check with advantage. Oh, nice. Oh my god!
Matt.
Roll 1d100.
What?
Roll 1d100 for me. Let's see what you get here. Yeah, you gather a ton of coins. Seems that the best people to perform for are people betting and gaining money. You get 72 gold for your performance.
What? Just. Oh,
That's a crit, man. It was gonna be like it's gonna be
that's
silver.
insane.
This is a huge amount. They just start pouring it out. They're just like, I remember this race. And these, listen, like the dinosaur races, you can bet anywhere from 1 copper to 500 gold pieces. Some of these are merchants that are stacked, man.
Oh my God.
So Freesia makes a, like I said, comfortable living. She makes a comfortable living off of this. Being a performer who can do that kind of thing and recall the race and show it, that is a crowd pleaser. You'll see people shoving to get close. And the other bards, like the minute Freesia comes up, it's like when a certain Twitch streamer comes up and they're really, really good, and the other's just like, I'm getting off. So you see the other bards just like, oh, it's Freesia. And they just get down like, I'm not making any coin tonight. I don't know illusions. They step down. She like pretty much takes over the coin flow for bards. And yeah, you guys are heading to Wakonga's palace, you said?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Along the way,
Yes.
War is going to mention while walking back that our bard friend knew another one of our friends and was asking about us before we met her.
Oh, she also mentions to you guys before, while you're picking up Roland, that she'd like to meet up with you guys again sometime.
Yeah. Absolutely, like soon.
Who was she asking about? Why was she asking about him?
I don't know. But she's digging.
You probably hear on Brolin's voice. Yeah, go ahead.
War, is that you?
Yes, Brolin.
Oh man, you tell me, Dustin, but I feel like as they're talking, I think it's almost perfect for War to say, and she's digging, and you go, "Artist dragging me." right now.
Dragon bait. Paid for all my drink.
Roland, it's late. Do we want another group of Yuan-Ti to jump us? Oh.
Any other? Go ahead.
Where are we going? What time is it?
Going back to Wakonga's.
We're gonna have to fight more Yuan-Ti, aren't we?
Probably. Don't know when.
Alexandria. Where's Alexandria? Alexandria.
Also,
here.
Freesia seemed visibly worried when Brolin mentioned the merchant.
Oh, Wakanga? Yeah.
No, the one that was looking for artists too.
Oh, yeah.
Did he give that up too?
He gave
How
up
much did he give up everything?
a lot.
No,
Hot damn!
no, I did.
Did you? What'd you give up?
I gave up. I imagine was half truth, but especially with artists, go on about Dragon Bait.
Okay.
To say anything particular about artists.
Did you mention the merchant that you met? You think or no?
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I don't. That's really super specific.
Yeah, it is. So he was probably
Okay.
pretty drunk. Yeah. Okay.
I was gonna say you silver-tongued drunk dwarf.
Well, the silver tongue is Freesia. That's just a drunk tongue.
Okay, drunk tongue, swollen drunk tongue. Yeah.
Any other interaction between the party before you make it to the palace?
Before we enter, I think Belfane would stop War as the party continues on, or whoever walks in, and I guess ask for a little more detail. I guess I'm trying to understand. All of a sudden, out of the blue, someone appears and is asking about. And just kind of trails off.
Said he had people after him.
I suppose. But how would she know to bother us?
Salhalla apparently mentioned that, well, she found out from Salhalla that he was at the camp and that we were at the camp.
Salhalla was here?
Yeah. She made it. She was a little overwhelmed to see everyone.
Interesting. Salhalla gave up the info?
Not intentionally. Be careful around that one.
I agree.
That freeze just wanted to know about our.
Keep trying to walk, Brolin.
No, I imagine I'm on War Shell.
He's still on War Shell, okay?
Well, he could probably carry him.
Probably. So, as that conversation concludes, you are welcomed into the gates by the guards. They've been expecting you back. You get back into the luxury of Wakonga's villa. Let me throw on that villa music here. Oh no. Leave the knight on. The knight needs to stay on. Where is my merchant prince villa? There we go. Yep. So yeah, you step into the back into the villa, back into the wide open, beautiful arms of luxury. As you step into the main area and sort of just like dust yourselves off a little bit, start to look to like, okay, I gotta get to my room. I'm tired. I've been walking around all day. Wakanga Otomo will greet you all at the entrance. He's in sort of his like knightly robes, and he will say, "Ah, you have returned. How was the city? I imagined it offered many things to you. It has been a long time since you have been able to traverse civilization. I imagine getting your feet a little bit wet must have been nice."
It was good to see people.
That is good. Good. And you all got to get a little bit of rest and relaxation, I imagine.
Less than you'd think.
Well, say, the city can be a lot at times. Did we gamble? Did we make any money? Did we eat any exquisite food?
I just got really, and I bought a snake.
And you bought a snake? Of course you did, Brolin. You know how to live. You are a Chultan, after all.
We sold the snake.
You sold this snake.
Snakes.
No. We sold the little quiet snake.
That's right. I pointed you in the direction. I'm.
Big snake people.
Imagine you made a pretty penny from a keen afu.
Does he hear snake people?
Did you say snake people?
Yeah, I said no. That was the flying snake. We bought the snake people.
And he stops for a moment and he says, "Foot, snake people." He says, "Tell me more." You are not. He looks at the rest of you. Is this some sort of drunken dream?
You know, I wish it was possible for people to have a lead tongue when they drink. He's drunk.
You'll look and it'll say, "Brolin, you should know well that even when intoxicated, you should not joke around about snake people. You, as well as any Chultan, should know. We do not speak of the boogeyman." And he'll say, "Well, if that was only a passing drunk daydream,
Then I have some bad news for all of you. I imagine it is better that I give it to you now rather than later. I am not a man of subtlety. Your friend is dead. Samuel Dredd. I found him in his bed, rather my servants found him in his bed. He was clutching, well, I do not want to go into any detail, but he was dead. I imagine that this is a lot to take all at once. He knew this was coming, though I imagine it was a little earlier than he thought. Sometimes life is like that.
Can I roll an insight check?
Yeah, for what?
He was the one. They were the only people that we knew. I want to see if he knows anything more than he's letting on.
Yeah, go for it. Okay, 11. The only thing you can tell is he seems to not want to get into any kind of gruesome details of how he found him, just to spare you, to try to be some level of kind. He doesn't want to tell you exactly how he found him, and he seems to be holding that back, but nothing else. He'll just say, I believe that his death, from what I had perceived, was natural, but and he just says, I have funeral arrangements prepared. We were expecting this, just not so early.
He was very particular about when.
I know.
Earlier
He
today.
definitely made sure to tell me of his predictions in Timor, but sometimes the gods can lie. You never really know. He says, do you wish to see him?
I would.
Of course. He is in his chambers. No one will stop you.
Well, can I try to sober up one last time?
Yeah. Give me a sober. Give me a disadvantage. You're still drunk. Give me a disadvantage. Constitution. You still got to beat the 6 drinks, which is a DC 17.
Yikes.
Oh, it should be a normal roll actually, because you are a dwarf. Shouldn't have disadvantage. 12 is still not going to be enough to break it. You are still drunk, but I mean you can comprehend what's going on.
That's the Samuel Dredd. Oh. How many people are gonna die?
Say,
Today.
unfortunately, I am a man of business as well. This is your last night in my manor. You will have to find other means. I'm expecting other guests tomorrow. And I expect your rooms to be cleared, but do expect every lap of luxury I can offer you this last night. It is, I imagine, the last gift I can give Samuel, as I have given him much, including this. His funeral.
I understand. At some point, we should speak about your interest in Oban.
Yes. And he seems to be pawing something in his hand that you can't see.
Perhaps we will talk about that at another time. My interests have changed.
You can make a perception check if you want.
Can I make perception?
Yeah, with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Wow. Go ahead and make that disadvantage. Valfine, you only spot the rim of what seems to be an iron coin in his hand.
It's the time.
The what?
No.
No.
Definitely not that.
Yeah.
And he'll say, my interests have changed. For now, your quest for Omu is your own. Samuel would have wanted it that way. I may be able to aid you, but not for some time. And I imagine you are in a hurry. And because we are, well, simple business partners now more than friends. And remember, I am a businessman.
I believe my full prices will apply to such aid. But that is to be discussed later. Tonight we are friends.
Good.
And he will say, I have much business to attend to this night. If you wish to view the body, you may. I pray you take it nowhere. The funeral I have prepared for him is one the old bastard did not deserve, but he will get. And he will turn over into the darkness, and when he reaches the darkness, you can hear him ping, flip the coin and catch it. And he moves with very much, he's got a lot of intent in where he's got to go. He's a busy man.
Alrighty. Or he'll start heading towards his rooms.
Okay. Yeah. Are all of you going to Samuel Dren's room?
Yeah.
Delphine won't. Where, I guess, toward the direction of the room where she would be staying.
What'd you say?
Valfine's not going to be following.
Okay, she's going towards her room.
Yes.
Okay, so you're going towards your room. What of Brolin?
Yeah, Brolin's gonna go.
Brolin will follow War. Alexandria?
Trying to decide if she cares enough.
Up
Yeah,
to you.
she does. She'll go.
Okay.
She's had enough of funerals, but he was nicer than the last guy whose funeral she went to, so
It's true.
kind of insulting not to go to this one.
This isn't so much a funeral, I think, as just
It's a funeral.
It's a funeral area. Now you step into the room and you see Samuel Dren. He's got the mask on. The bedding is all the way up to his shoulders. You can't see any other part of him other than the mask. He's laying, and you can't help but remember the first time you met him when he was laying down. Also a blanket all the way up with the mask on. And you step into this chamber, and you see him. He's not moving. As you
punch him hard enough before we wake up.
As you approach the bedside, you can see that his arms aren't like he's not in like a full like cross position or anything, or his arms are at his side. He has one arm up here and the other at his side under the blanket. You can see just through that there's the one arm here and the one arm is straight down.
We're having heard the whole clutching something. Let's probably take a look at his hands.
You want to pull back the thing?
Yeah.
All right. He has already been stripped of his clothing to prepare the body for tomorrow. They'll leave it for now, but they're going to immediately start preparing it. So they've already removed his clothes. You can see that. Are you touching him at all?
Yeah. If he can't see something that he's looking at, he probably would. Yeah.
He's ice cold. And he is clutching at his heart, and his hand is in an extreme stress position that is completely frozen, and you can't move it. His other hand is in a clenched fist at his side. Do you lift the mask to see the expression on his face?
Yeah.
Utter terror.
That don't look right. He looks scared.
That's not the look of somebody who passed in their sleep.
Don't know how the death curse takes people, but usually they look like this.
How ice cold?
His body's pretty cold.
Like heat death cold?
Not like he's got
been in
ice
a refrigerator.
not like refrigerator coming off. It's just cold.
Okay.
It's like
Maybe-
natural cold, but it feels like it's a little more.
A little more than natural cold?
Just a tiny bit, but it's not.
Alright, so
it's-
this guy is cold in a jungle.
It's a
gonna
dead.
take War a little while to connect the dots.
It's a dead body.
This is for me. This is for me.
Yeah, it's a dead body. It's a little cold. Yeah. Perhaps Wakanga didn't investigate the body as much as he said he did. He did seem quite distracted.
Does War know how long it takes for a body to get from like warm to cold?
From warm to cold?
'Cause, like, I have a whole bunch of dots here that I don't know if War connects.
If he died today, this is pretty quick for the body to go cold.
Yeah.
Especially in this weather.
I'm glad you told me that before I made that medicine check.
Yeah, I think you can perceive without any kind of check that it's definitely not a natural death. Wakanga did not take his time.
I don't like this. This seems fishy.
But the death curse, it's just as War said, is a mystery. But
What do
but
you
Mushra
think?
wasn't like that.
What do you think, War?
I don't like it. There's something off.
I think it's I think it's interesting to have this scene switch just really quick. Valfine, as you go to enter in your room, you're stopped by a servant, and she will say, "Oh," and she speaks in like just a little bit of broken common. "Your other friend, will she be returning?"
Huh? My other?
The one with fire hair. The book.
Here?
The other one. And she can't like quite remember. Styria?
I don't know.
I have to clean her room. There was a glass broken mirror. This will have to be paid for, yes?
Broken glass mirror?
Yes, I do not want to get in trouble with Wakanga.
Can I see?
Come. And she will bring you into Asteria's room, where you see there are a few of her like light travel belongings on her or about. But wherever she is, she seems to have taken her main pack. And she takes you into the sort of bath area where there is a mirror on the wall. It's completely shattered. She says, "I do not know what causes this, but it must be fixed or paid for, or Wakanga must know. I thought I'd come to you first."
Can I roll an investigation check? See if there's anything left behind. Do I know where she went? Valfine discern that from anything in here?
Yeah, and I think I have a better retcon for what we had decided before. You see the map is left behind.
The map. Our map that we've been making.
Yes.
Valfine's going to immediately roll that up and stuff it in her cloak. Is the mirror the only thing broken?
It's the only thing. And this is just a worried servant. She doesn't want to get in trouble for the broken mirror. She wants Wakanga to not find out.
To try to calm the servant down. Are pieces of glass still around?
They're in the mirror, all of them.
Valfine's going to reach up and put her hand on the glass, and she's going to mend the mirror.
All right, yeah, you see it's all little pieces come back together. Make a perception check. 21. As they all mend together, you see that just as the cracks seal, a small, just slight bit of, like when you see someone's breath, and when it's cold, a little bit comes out of the cracks.
Is this good enough?
Oh, you are magical like Wakonga. Oh, thank goodness.
Just a little bit.
No, thank Upta. She says, you are good. This is good. Now leave. I must clean the rest. Your friend not return.
I don't know.
She says, I will clean anyway.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah. I'm gonna do as she says, turn around and leave the room. Head toward where Valfine is going to be staying tonight. Yes.
Okay. Back to the room with Samuel. What are you guys doing? You can definitely see everything I've described to you so far.
Well, I rolled horribly on my medicine check, so it's just tragic early death.
Yeah.
I think that's all. Take a look at.
Okay. Brolin, what about you?
Brolin is going to be sad and pat Samuel's corpse.
Yeah, you can feel the cold. You pat the corpse. Do you say anything?
Do anything.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of already said a goodbye to him before. You knew this would eventually come, just a little sooner than you thought. So you all head to your rooms.
We're to look around for the Riak feather. That you gave to Samuel.
Yeah, you can see that it is on his writing desk.
He'll pick that up and put that in the fisted hand by his side.
Yeah.
And then cover him back up.
Yeah, you can see that the feather itself looked as though it was he was getting ready to prep it for being dipped in ink, and he had a piece of paper out. Nothing's written on it though. All right. So from here, I imagine you guys head back to your chambers at the villa.
Are there servants in my room?
Yeah. I mean, there could be. I mean, they're probably not for you specifically. They just couldn't get into Asteria's room because they usually no, I think they probably were in your room at one point or another to clean up, and the Asteria's was just brought up because there was a smashed window or a smashed mirror.
Okay. Are there any nearby? Are they carrying anything? Are they catering?
Yeah, I mean they work through the night to get clothing cleaned and stuff, and you can see them, a couple of them leaving some rooms where the guard usually stay on this level. There is always a gladiatorial guard out on the top of the stairs, which can be seen down the entire hallway of the upper floor.
I look around. Are there any bottles of wine?
Yeah. There's definitely going to be something in your room, some sort of courteous wine bread situation.
Valfine, with a shaky hand, will grab one of the bottles of wine and bring it with her. And down the whole thing.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
What?
Ed,
Yes.
are there flowers in Samuel Dren's room?
There are probably flowers nearby in there's a courtyard that holds a lot that is in the upper level.
No, but what I need to know is any type of flower or plant, Samuel.
Yeah, he's got some foliage.
I'm gonna cast Speak with Plants.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I hope you're ready, DM.
Here it comes.
You imbue plants with 30.
Yes.
To events. You can question plants about events in the spell's area within the past day. Gaining information about creatures that have passed, weather, and other circumstances. You can also turn difficult terrain. Yeah. Or you can. Okay. Yeah.
Guys that have passed.
Yeah.
As everybody leaves the room, I'm not gonna let this go, Sam. And he goes and turns around and look like a ficus or something. Oh man, he hugs it. Magical ficus. Tell me, how did my friend Samuel Dredd die? And I imagine it becomes like partially animated, like.
She says, You are another. You can
What?
speak to me.
Yeah, it's okay.
Only the wind and the soil and the sun have spoken to me.
Yeah, I get that a lot. It's okay. Every plant does. Listen. What happened to this guy over here?
Look at it'll say, the one growing on the bed. I wouldn't know what a bed is. The one growing in the grove. There.
Yes, yeah, that guy.
She. This is a female plant. This is the
That has expressions.
yeah, and it just says, it's just, it takes a little while for this thing to like understand that it can be sentient and speak in the moment. It'll just say, I do not see. I feel.
Okay, but what
do you cut out?
I said, well, okay, but what are you feeling then? What would you feel?
Different today. It was so warm, as it always is. And then it got so cold. So cold. I didn't know cold. Like I was going to die. And then it was warm again.
Huh. Cold. Okay. That's all you felt then?
I can only feel.
And then after the cold, he was dead? He died?
Is it dead?
He's dead, yeah.
I felt their movement. The wind when they passed. They are gone.
Yeah, he's...
Who will feed me? They fed me.
Oh, yeah, give him some water. There you go.
Will you feed me now?
You know what? Yeah, fuck it. I am. He picks up the ficus.
Oh my god.
Yay!
Yay! Now he's got Sammy Brolin Jr. and a ficus.
Yes.
Plant
And so
revenue. For 10 minutes at a time.
You have to speak?
Goes up to Alexandria. He knocks. Like, a little bit like Sheldon. Alexandria.
There's a delay before finally you hear the sound of a sigh when she opens the door. Yes, Brolin.
You see him holding a ficus.
That's a wonderful plant, Brolin.
It's a ficus, and her name is Susan.
You gotta like you gotta like rate in her face.
Oh yeah, it looks.
Do you have the plant right in your face?
Yeah.
Oh, the oxygen! I love it.
That's fantastic, Brolin. It's such a beautiful plant.
Yeah, I made it's sentient.
You made it yourself. That's wonderful.
Oh, okay. Wait. Listen.
It only can talk to you, by the way.
Wait. It's all right. Wait. Listen. Just listen.
Uh-huh.
I cast a spell to let me talk to this plant that was in Samuel Dren's room.
Yeah.
And he said Susan, she said she felt something weird going on in his room.
Was it a dwarf?
No.
So
No.
much talking. This is great.
Oh, keep talking.
Don't stop.
No. Listen.
Don't stop. Oh, you.
Alexander,
It's a plant loves oxygen.
Carbon
or not oxygen. What do we breathe out? Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide.
listen.
That's what you get when you
Samuel,
talk to plants.
I'm serious. She felt a coldness coming in his room and then just disappearing.
Coldness, huh?
Yeah, it was like an unnatural.
Okay. I was thinking something similar. My medical skills aren't great, but I know in a jungle it certainly takes a while for a body to get that cold.
Yeah. Wasn't there something cold? Didn't we deal with them something like that at the fort?
Yes, you're right. I believe, what was his name? The
Niles
captain.
Breakbone.
Not yet. Nah, we killed him. Yeah.
Well, Salhalla killed him, but yes. He did have an aura about him. Can I make an Arcana check to see if there's a magical effect that could be linked between the two events?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, this is good RP.
Oh yeah.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Please.
It's uncanny. It's an uncanny coincidence. You know that the jungle normally naturally does not do this. You saw the frost, the ice come off of Niles Breakbone. You saw the only other time you've seen Artis use the ring, and he had frost powers for that, and that's also unnatural. And go ahead.
As a wizard and pertaining to my particular field of study, would I be familiar with this? Is this a necromantic cold?
Yes.
Is this related to?
It is.
Rossim Sin C is a necromancer.
It is, well, necromantic cold. I would say it's definitely, yeah, it's in the necromantic school. The only other time you felt this cold was with Crowley.
He wasn't. Did I feel cold? I thought he was just like an old guy.
Anytime you're around him, you feel cold.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I think that would be the more prevalent thing on my mind then. So, I guess she'll look at Brolin and say, "Did you ever talk to a Crowley?"
Yeah. He's drunk. He's still. I like to think he's petering out.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly getting sober, but. This is Crowley, yeah. He's a weird guy at the camp. He's like a soldier. He started talking to me, and I didn't get what he was going on about, but he was weird. He was cold.
Can you do me a favor, Brolin?
Sure, what?
Can you go get Valfine and bring her here?
Okay, I'll go bring her right now. All right, Susan, let's go.
The next scene, we could see Valfine get pulled into the room for sure, with a plant. Unless she wouldn't come, you got to Brolin with a plant at the door, saying, "My plant said it's really cold." And Alexandria wants to see.
Valfine, Alexandria wants to talk to you.
She just downed an entire bottle of wine.
Yeah, you're pretty buzzed.
So she'd look up as you come to the door. Oh, yeah.
Oh, by the way, this is Susan. She's alive.
let's go see Alexandria.
Breathe on me.
All right.
No.
10 minutes, man. Last 10 minutes.
Roland, what are you doing?
Oh, Susan's alive. I can't tell to make her sense.
Let's go see Alexandria.
It's really powerful magic.
Look, we need to talk to Alexandria before this bottle of wine hits me.
It's starting to. Stepping down this hall is work.
Take my hand.
I'm not taking your hand. You're blasted.
As blasted as you're about to be.
Hey, just gonna wander up, I guess. To would I know which one?
Brolin's gonna lead
would have
you.
to
So we
lead me there.
see Brolin, Valfine, and Susan step through the door.
Oh my god.
Step through the door into the chamber. Yeah, you guys are together.
I heard you were looking for me.
Oh. Yes. Well, I guess we're gonna work quickly then, because I can smell that on you.
Smell what?
The wine.
Oh. Okay.
She chuckles, but quickly turns back seriously, and she says, "So, there's a suspicious cold which has been confirmed by this Susan character pertaining to Samuel Dren's death, the plant, the sentient plant. I don't know why it has a name, but you're the only person I know that I can trust who's familiar with magic, and I want to entertain a theory, and I was hoping to bounce it off of you.
Yeah, go for it.
But at a time I was visited by a figure who called himself Crowley. And Brolin apparently has also had dealings with this character. Are you familiar with him?
Yeah, I told him to fuck off.
Okay. Is there anyone we know who wouldn't tell him to fuck off?
She pauses, and you see the steam. Yeah. I don't know.
Do we know anyone who would have a reason to kill Samuel Dren?
He may be an enemy of the merchant princes. He's been working with Wakanga for some time. Wakanga has enemies.
Until Jack Brass probably doesn't like him.
It's true. He had that enemy, but it was kind of, like, after reading that letter, it was like a frenemy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not so sure this really deals with any of the... Well, I mean, of course Samuel Dren probably had a lot of enemies, but I would think that this Crowley figure doesn't come to everybody. And he's visited 3 of our party, so he's clearly been stalking us to some degree.
How many times did you talk to him?
A couple times. I didn't tell him to fuck off the first time.
I told him to fuck off twice.
Oh, well. Bully.
Did also warn us about?
Did she warn us about him?
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
So Asteria knows about him then. Where is Asteria?
She stops a second and takes a deep breath. I didn't follow you guys to Samuel. I went the other way, and a servant stopped me and asked that I come see the room Mysterio was staying in. And there was some stuff scattered around, but the bathroom mirror was cracked.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But I fixed it. We're good. Congo won't find out. We're good. Mirrors. Oh. Something weird happened when I fixed it.
What
You know when you're kind of cold and you breathe out. And she's starting to slur her words like this is getting real.
Yeah.
We're kind of hitting the.
Quick, get it out before I lose you.
Well, when you. No. When you breathe out and it's cold and you can see your breath. That came out of the mirror. It wasn't me. It was the mirror did it.
The mirror had frosty breath.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I might not be the smartest wizard that ever walked the shores of Faerun, but I could tell you that's not normal. Have we seen Valoria lately?
Hey,
Have you seen yourself lately?
Brolin, you're still here.
I am. I'm on her bed with the ficus.
No, you are not.
Oh no! Break that up. Break that shit up.
You will vacate that bed immediately.
You didn't notice. You were too into the moment.
Yeah, he's laying on your bed with the ficus.
It's kind of like straight up.
He's breathing on it really heavily.
Valoria can see
Don't
herself.
stop.
I have an emergency.
Okay, I'll get up. I'll just get cupped.
No, the damage is already done.
The bed's all like sunk in, and you see a dwarf figure.
Oh, it's gonna smell like dwarf.
Drunk dwarf. You request another room.
Yeah, she was totally into the zone, like, you know,
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo mystery, connecting the dots, but then
Right.
she saw Brolin in her bed, and she's completely derailed. She now cares more about finding a servant to either switch the sheets or change rooms than to figure out what happened.
You guys also know, you haven't talked to War at all, either. He's another member of your party.
Go change sheets. Go get war. Good conversation. Gotta go find it.
He doesn't look in the right mind to be able to even find War's room.
I look for a servant to help me find war.
Valfine's gonna lean against the wall, like trying to.
Are you following Brolin? No.
Nope, can't.
Alexandria.
Fine, I'll go get him, since apparently I'm the only one not drinking.
I'm gonna stay.
Yep. Oh, you stay right here. She's gonna put her down. Well, she's gonna lead her to the bed, but then realize it's fucking filthy.
It's not
And-
filthy. I'm pretty clean.
We are
He
all
did
allowed
take a
to have
bath today.
opinions. We are all allowed to have opinions, Brolin. That doesn't mean they're right.
Alexandria, as you leave the room and head down the hall to go talk to War, you pass the main stairway as he's on the other side of the hall. And as you do, roll a perception check with advantage.
With advantage, don't mind if I do.
And you rolled a 9.
Nice, 17. You are stopped, dead in your tracks, as you catch something. You turn to the side and see the massive portrait of the previous governor of Port Nyanzaru. All these clues running through your mind. You lead your eyes up towards the governor, looking quite exquisite. This governor of dressed as an Omnian noble, and you go down and you see his beautiful wife and her hair as well. And then you start to run down a list of children until you find yourself at the very bottom of the portrait. And you see a familiar face. You see the painting of what looks like Asteria as a child. And then your eye is drawn down to the gold-plated words. Delos. You recall Asteria's last name. And what hits you in this moment as well, I think, and I don't think you need an investigation check for this either, the conversation on the boat to the port. You remember the drunken, the little bit buzzed proclamation of Wakanga. And then we hung Governor Delos high, and I watched the breath leave his lungs. And I had my revenge. And these dots are connected. I think that's a perfect place, since it's 10:30, for us to pause the episode, but I'm going to give one scene that the party, I don't think, would have any ability to see, but us as the audience totally should, because it's fun. The next day you might hear, and we can interact with War when we come back and do anything, but the next day you might hear there is rumor that all the princes are meeting in Golden Throne, and no one knows why and what it's about. It doesn't happen often, but they are all meeting. A lot of people are speculating it's due to the occupation of the Flaming Fist, the undead horde, or really anything, really, or possibly the capture of the Temple of Savros by the Zentarum, or the fact that it got bought out. A lot of people are speculating what it's about. But us as viewers are going to get a peek, just a small peek, into this council. We see the open grand chamber of the Golden Throne at its very center, where once stood the Omnian governor at rule. The many chairs around this circled sort of council room was where he had kept counsel with other nobles who helped him rule the port. Now, sitting in each chair, you see stepping into the room a prince. At which point, I can give you guys all the art of all the princes. So we will see Akin Afa, which you may have already seen before. The gladiatorial, she's a woman, she's a gladiatorial champion and sells weapons. We will see Ifen Talroa, who sells, I believe, and I'll show him as well, who sells I believe he's in the market of animals and trade. We see Jessamine. She deals in contract killing and poisons. We see. Let's keep going. Let's get the whole thing. Jabal is dead, so he will not be here. We see Koefe, the merchant prince of food. And we will see Wakanga Tomu, who we already know, but I'm going to get his picture out here. Get him out here. Good old Wakango. And at last, the final person to enter into the room, we will see Xanthi. The eldest. As she walks in, each prince takes a seat, and we hear Xanthi speak. So, I have called you all here for a very obvious reason. Each of you has received one of these, haven't you? And she holds up a coin, which looks like... let me snag it. I have the coin. Looks like... yeah, this is good. This. And you see a couple of them, Koefe, and especially Koefe and Jessamine. What is the meaning of this, Sandy? Who has done this? Who among us? And it's just, they immediately start like pointing stuff. Says, Jabal is dead. He has been murdered. There is no other thing. There's no other way around it. And they start arguing. And Koefe points at Jessamine and says, You You and your poisons, are you up to something? And they start to yell at each other, and Xanthi puts a hand up, and they all calm. And you can see that Ivan is just stroking his beard, looking around. It's like a super intrigue moment. He's just sitting there, and you can see that Wakanga is just sort of laughing a little bit under his mouth, and then Akin Alpha sitting there. She looks angry. She's like, "We have to do something. We cannot just sit around. We have been threatened." And we see once again Xanthi put her hand up. "Calm yourselves. This is definitely an attack, and I can confirm it." And she'll throw the coin into the middle of the room. "An attempt was made on my life, but it was not strong enough." We immediately see our scene shift to an endless maze with an abyss for a sky, and sitting at its center is Crowley. And he is inside of the maze and looking around, and we hear him just say, "Damn witch." And she'll lean back in her chair. "A devil visited me in the night. I know not who sent it, and I am unable to pry the information from it. But someone is trying to kill merchant princes." And they immediately, there's immediately an argument again. Wakanga kind of like looks over, and he looks concerned now. He's no longer laughing. We see like sort of an argument heat up again. Who is it? And Xanthi puts a hand up. "Calm yourselves. Whoever they are, they want us to cannibalize ourselves. We will not do so. I do not believe it is one of us. I believe it is someone else." The whispers of just flaming fist. "Is it Samuel? Is it Sigil Jackbreath?" She says, "Perhaps. But I believe that with time, we can find out who this person or persons is. They've already made their first mistake. They attacked me." And that is where our episode will end. That council scene of the next day will take place. There's no way for you guys as the players, I don't think, for you to ever see that. So I think that's fun to peek into. And that's where we will leave off as the strings have been finally tied together as to Asteria's treachery. Alexandria seeming to understand the whole picture as she makes her way over to War's room. That last scene of her sitting in front of the portrait, I think, is perfect.
Also,
yes?
The coins are heavily damaged.
Yeah, they're rough. And she threw hers into the corner. Oh man, Asteria, you picked the wrong one to go after first.
Whoops.
We'll see where that goes. In the background, perhaps we'll follow it. Very, very good. Good episode, guys. Good episode. I'm excited to come back. We're still technically in that day. We'll get out of it. It'll be short.
Okay, we're ready to be in now.
I hope my comedy wasn't too much.
It was good. It was so good.
It was good.
No, it was no.
We gotta have it. We gotta have it. It's
Can I just say I pulled that speak to plants out of my ass?
I had to really think. I had to really. Go ahead.
I was just like, what can I do? And then I saw speak to plants. I'm like, no.
Is there any plants? I had to be like, yeah, she wouldn't see, but she'd feel. Because I can't be like, yeah, this plant sees things. They totally don't. They can only feel things. So, yeah, I thought that.
Breathe on me again.
Breathe, please, breathe. Your new friend, Susan the plant.
Oh, that's nice.
For 10 minutes, and you'll have to keep casting a 3rd level spell to talk to her. your new friend.
I'll make it permanent.
Coincidentally, if you guys meet Asteria, she probably would make a point that Crowley is after her.
Yeah, she might try to lie her way out of it if the party were to find her. But it would seem that our player has turned villain for the moment. Very interesting. I like shakers and movers in my corner.
War has another 2 dots that'll get connected, but that's it.
Yeah.
I think for all the things that we know.
I feel like Alexandria might connect the rest for you pretty quick here.
Right. Like there's one more dot that they haven't put together.
Yeah.
That it makes sense for War to be doing right now, because like his end of the day routine, and this was a big day, is going home and writing everything down that he remembers.
Oh yeah.
So like he'll be recounting the whole day and being like, "Oh shit."
Oh, we lost a stereo. Yeah, pretty nuts. Yeah, cool, guys. Oh man, that was fun. I always have fun at these.
I gotta fight a tabaxi.
Yeah, you gotta fight a tabaxi master thief. It's gonna be insane.
I was under the I couldn't deny it. I was drunk. I couldn't I definitely tried to play it like I couldn't think.
I built you that rival today. I was like, we're going into this bar that's like all about the arena and dying racing. I was like, you're gonna meet somebody that doesn't like you, for sure. Alexandria chose the path of the party and like had really good reasoning. It was just like it was really cool. It was
my only friend.
Super cool. Absolutely. We got Frisia to the party, entering in the classic Alex way of the party going, I don't know about this.
Yeah, exactly, because now we're all skeptical.
Oh, but she's so wants to be involved with you guys. Oh, that'll be so interesting. I'm just ready for like the next day, wherever you guys go, it's just, hey, oh, what a coincidence that I've seen you here.
Hey,
we should hang out.
Literally every day.
Every day. I think every day I'll just give Alex free option to just show up at somebody's side. Oh, what are the coincidences? What are the chances?
Oh, hey, it's you guys.
What? How does this keep happening?
She's pretty good at that sort of thing.
Oh boy. Classic. Too good. We had Wars reuniting with Salhalla. I loved that. I loved that because you guys had a good connection.
That was good.
Oh, definitely. I wish I had more for Uncle Adric, Uncle Adric to give you, but I was like, no, he had a pretty minimal interaction, but it's a little bit of lore for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is
and
cool.
There were hints in there that I picked up today.
Yeah, there was cool stuff. Fucking good shit. I love that this session, and I say this every time, I'm like, oh, I gotta prep. And all I do is go, all right, what's 10 things that are happening in the city? What are 10 things the party needs to do? I don't need to write anything more. I'm just like, okay. I'm ready for these 10 things, and I know about these 10 things. And I'm done. The port is really smooth.
And here we are, day 1. Still.
I still have 5 things to do.
I know. I feel like this day is so big that by the time we hit day 2, I feel like we gotta just go, okay, what's the next 10-day like?
Yeah. We're coming up to the top of the roller coaster, you know.
Right. We might do that. I think the minute we hit the done with this day, I'm gonna ask for big 10 days to get us moving, because if we do individual days in the port, I think we could stay here forever. But I might ask for bigger days, and then if people want to point out little things, we can do them.
We do have to do a couple scenes for the next day, because like
exactly,
Brolin going and getting interrogated.
There are like specific scenes. There is the 3-day like fight with Brolin's rival. I think we can just try to think of things in the broader spectrum, and then hit the scenes as we hit them, and not have to be like, where are you guys sleeping tonight? That's what the lifestyle's for, so we don't have to be every individual detail. It doesn't have to happen. We could just talk about the broad things that can happen within a 10-day, how you guys are possibly preparing for your future expedition. If you're not, let me know, because I need a new party of adventurers that want to go on the new expedition.
Most of my 10-day are going to be getting the party to like me.
Yeah, getting the party to like you is good. We could talk about downtime. Like, I think I would love to give every individual a downtime activity regardless of scenes. To be like, because all the downtime activities take a week.
I have so much. I have so much. There's so much.
I gotta get, it'll be one downtime activity, and then minor small things. The downtime activity is something you would have done, like, the entire 10 days, constantly.
Ask me anything. Ask it. Have things.
It'll be good. It'll be good. Still in day 51. Never going to leave. Never going to leave. We're almost done.
A downtime like sheet somewhere.
Yeah, if you go into the Xanathar's Guide to Everything, it has all the downtime activities in there. There is like one extra one for Build a Stronghold in the DMG, but don't worry about that. You're not building a stronghold.
Guys, we've been in the same day in D&D for more than a month in real.
I know, right? Isn't
I
it
just
awesome?
looked at my that day for December 3rd.
All that's left is Alexandria coming to War's room, explaining everything she knows, and then like the party coming together and going, "Oh shit, Asteria's gone AWOL," and then go to bed, wake up the next morning and figure it out.
Right.
I feel like that's all that's left in this day. We're looking at midnight. If you guys stay up, I'm giving exhaustion for the endless day.
Hey, you started the endless day.
I did.
You. That's you.
I did. I was naughty and pulled from our last session. I was telling Josh, I looked down the list and there were 3 encounters that were going to happen.
I hear at work.
Yeah, there were 3 encounters that were going to happen over the 10-day, and I was like, no, they keep going to places where these encounters are perfect. So I kept pulling them and putting them. So you'll have future days that are real nice. I took a ton of encounters and shoved them into that day.
Be a day like today.
Yeah, there was none for today, so I've pulled a lot of your bad karma and put it right on top of you.
Now we're not gonna have anything to do. It all happened in one day.
You gotta get that. You'll get that 10-day of beautiful downtime, guys. You can relax.
How insane would that make you? You get like a day with like all the shit at once.
How much?
And then literally like a 10-day afterwards of like nothing, and you're like pacing back and forth. Like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, the anxiety hits you, and you're like,
Well, yeah, this day's been crazy. Samuel Dren is dead. You go to a funeral. Like, this day has had so many things happen.
Yeah. We watched Jabal die.
Yeah, you watched Jabal die. You met Frisia. You met Frisia today.
Asteria disappeared.
Yep.
you were literally had your hair taken today, a couple of hours ago.
that thing too, yeah, because we were on the way to the thing and went, oh, what is that? And then we got distracted, and
Brolin had his maze dream.
Brolin and War like tamed this beast.
A ton of things.
What the real other one though is I just lost it.
All good. Yeah, I gave you XP. I thought we got it out of the way. Did we?
Oh, we haven't slept yet.
Oh yeah, I guess we haven't gotten XP.
No, we did XP.
I think we did it early to get it out of the way because this day was so
we did
long.
It early because we weren't gonna remember it.
It was like I don't know. Yeah.
Because then didn't Asteria wander off, and then she like found some crap going on in an alley, almost got killed.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean that's special Asteria XP.
Yeah. That still happened to that day.
When's the next full moon?
That happened too. Yeah.
Oh,
Don't
no,
worry.
we
Don't
still
worry.
have that.
Time is frozen for us, so you're fine. It's so many days away.
You still have that problem.
If our next session we are still in this day, I will kill you all.
Let's draw it out. We have
Well,
half an
guys,
hour to make it last.
I hope everyone's got their pirates ready.
I will murder all of you if this day lasts one more time. And it's mostly my fault, but I'll still kill you guys to make it end.
We use the support. And we are dead.
The Groundhog Day. All that would have to happen, it's like, Asteria, she's betrayed. We have to find her. Well, forget sleeping. Let's go out into the city in the dark and find her. I'm like, well, forget what I want.
Oh, look. Here's this deck of many things. Woo.
We gotta do a
Oh,
search.
it would be a shame if I just started pulling stuff off the top.
Cards. Oh my god. Oh man. Asteria, us as players know Asteria's. I mean, I think the cool thing is like it makes sense to. I think it makes sense for us to peek in on Asteria here and there because like us as players have been doing that this whole time. We've been peeking in on Secret Asteria stuff. Yeah. She's not in it, like not in a good way right now. A little bit of a setback. Lost her Devil Boy for a bit. We'll see.
Like what? Yeah.
We'll see what her next move is.
Yep.
We'll see what her next move is.
Question.
I know exactly what spell she used. He is not going anywhere.
Not for a while.
Is this maze? Is this Brolin's maze?
It's a like I mean looking at it, we as players can recognize it's a maze of Ooptao. It's an Ooptao maze. It's like
she put the dude in Brolin's maze.
Might have.
I kind of hope it's Brolin's maze.
Might have.
Would be way funnier.
Might have put it in Brolin's maze. The next time, just like
he's looking at the bowl. Yeah, you look at the bowl. It turns to ice.
I really need to get out of here.
How about you help me out?
I'll make you a deal.
How about
I throw Susan at him.
Oh, God.
Breathe on me. Yeah, if you make me talk as a plant, I'm gonna be weird.
And then she turns into an ice cube as he breathes on her.
It happened with Matt Mercer too. They were like, "Speak with plants." They're all looking at him like, "Speak as a plant, Matt." And he was just like, "I fucking hate you guys." And he's just like, "I'll be a plant."
That's how the sun tree happened.
I know. Hey man.
Hey, man.
Everything's cool, Kiki.
Oh my God.
I should have pushed the racer a little bit more. I had him ready as an NPC. Someone should talk to the Stampede. He's a cool guy.
Yep, I skirted past all that. That was like Alexandria.
Go for her. Get that moment alone.
The Stampede.
The Stampede. He's cool.
His name Vash?
Stampede. Oh man, Vlad the Impaler, my favorite. I love that I got to do that. Vlad the Impaler.
Well, see, now it's like, okay, Vash the Stampede. All right, buddy, this is just an anime bar.
He should be Vash the Stampede. That should be.
I'm imagining Stampede more
Vash.
like the Boulder.
Yeah. He's the only Goliath we've seen in the city so far. You guys got to do the dinosaur races, boys.
Well, I'll probably be at every dinosaur race.
They're really cool.
You're gonna be making money
off of that.
Yeah.
The macro Amy made for it is so good. It's so good. It's like the most complex macro ever for betting. The betting's kind of brutal, actually. Like if you bet like 20 gold and you don't win, you lose the 20 gold and have to pay an additional 20 gold. It's
my God.
But if you win, the odds are insane. There's like a 1 in 8 too. That's like literally if you win, you go 8 times your normal amount. You can put 500 gold in that and get 8 times 500 gold if you win.
Oh wow!
That is 4,000 gold.
Wow.
That would be insane.
Pretty probably does actually play a little bit.
You make some good money. You make some. You spend it all.
You've been around enough, yeah. I would think.
Yeah, Frisia's got starting gold plus 70.
So what you're saying is Frisia's loaded, and we should quickly become her friend, right?
Well, she's a bard. I think it makes sense because she's starting off with very little money. It's very much I make a lot of money and then I spend it on whatever I want. She's got to have like really. Does she have like nice clothes? Probably a really nice instrument, like really good stuff.
All right, Alex.
Magical components.
It's probably the nicest instrument any of you have ever seen, though.
We're gonna need a drawing.
So I don't want to implant this in your mind, but my favorite idea behind a bard is and I've wanted to do this if I'm a bard. Steal it, please, if you want it. You get a component pouch. The components go inside of whatever loot you have, and when you strum it, they kind of like smoke out and become the magic. And I loved that idea of that.
Well, bards can use instruments as their
as
focus.
their focus. Yeah, exactly. And you could do it normally. I just thought it's interesting to have the component pouch stuff the components inside of the thing, play it, and they like come out as like a dust, and it would be really cool. But I'll keep that idea for myself if you don't want. It's fine.
Well, I'm not playing a bard.
No. Okay.
Oh yeah, that went so well last time.
Yeah, I don't play those anymore.
If
Not with this guy.
If we do the Brolin, so Brolin has to do the zombie fight. If he does that, you guys are playing the zombies against him. So I'll give you guys zombie stats. Yeah, he'll have to do the zombie fight, and then one of you will roll to play Vlad as well. I want players to be interact. I don't want it just to be me versus Dustin. And I think for that single match, I might give a couple other things to players to be like boons from the crowd kind of thing. Like, I'm cheering them on to give them advantage, whatever kind of thing. Just to get everybody involved. Same thing with dinosaur races. If one person races, I'm going to have other people play other racers.
Well, good.
Also, Roland will enter it with a bardic inspiration.
I'm so ready for that moment to become so competitive, though. Like, my zombie goes right for him. He knocks him prone. Advantage, get him.
Or, oh, look, he's about to die. Oh, my arm falls off.
My arm falls off. I encourage, and I will be watching. I encourage, if you play any kind of opposing racer or opponent of Brolin in the arena, I encourage you guys to play as best you can to the thing you are given. If you are given Vlad, play him super fucking smart. If you are playing the zombies, play it like you'd play a zombie. Take a moment to be a DM with me. That way I'm not controlling them, because I know that fight will be boring.
DMing.
Genius.
Hyper zombie tactics.
Yeah, bro, it's like, these zombies are a little too smart.
XCOM zombies. No.
What's going on?
All of the zombies have the symbols on their heads.
Oh God.
No.
You have wander and you have bite. Wander in a random D4 direction.
I encourage you guys to roleplay those characters too. That will make it very fun. Roleplaying zombies is a blast. No witnesses.
Oh my God.
Lie. Last night, I felt fine. I had a little cough, but today,
Full on.
yeah.
I loved it. It was perfect for drunk Brolin, man. You
Yeah,
turned
it was
it. You
great
turned
for
it perfect.
Is
For
the
drunk
stream
boy,
off,
that was
by the way?
perfect.
What'd you say?
Is the stream off?
Is this Street Moth?
Yeah.
Stream off.
Oh, is the stream off? No, it's not. I forgot. It's still on. All right.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Fun table talk. It's always good. All right. Well,
Here's my
thanks.
social security number.
Don't do it. All right. Thanks to those who were viewing in chat. If you're watching this later, archived on Twitch or on YouTube, also thank you for viewing wherever you are, friends. Morning, noon, or night. Make it a good one. And also, before we go, I love that Just Josh got my Truman Show. Well, if I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening,
No, I
and
got
good
that.
night.
Oh my God.
Bye, guys. Bye.